What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Victoris Rival Series for Valorant, of course. We're in week 4 of the group stages, and we'll be watching Group B tonight. And luckily, I get to be joined by two of the most wonderful casters on the planet, JogoGod and Easel. Easel, how are you feeling today?
Oh, pretty good. Thanks for throwing to me first. You were commenting on my facial hair before this, so I was just using it to contemplate what the matchup that we have in front of us. We have Phantom Thieves and Frey's team coming up hot. Yeah, I see you got a little bit going there yourself. But we've got these two teams coming up hot, and well, there's some interesting stats to dive into in just a second. But JogoGod, how you doing?
Doing great. Sorry that I missed last week, was feeling a little under the weather, so hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Happy to be back in the casting booth this week. Had a wonderful weekend. Got to cast out a pair of lands, actually, which was very exciting. So now I'm back home, though, ready to jump into it here for Victoris.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear you guys are doing really well. And tonight, again, we have a fantastic match coming up for us. It's going to be Phantom Thieves, a team which has managed to secure tied for second place with two other teams right now at a scoreline of 2-1, facing up against Frey's team, which the logo is the little dog, right?
Yes.
If I remember correctly, it's very cute. I love it. But they are currently 1-2. Struggling for second last place, but that's only because there's so many other people with the same scoreline. Easel, first thing I need to talk about is, where is your Doctor Who pillow?
It's right there, I swear.
He's going to get it.
There we go. I was looking at Easel's facial hair, and in the background, I was just devastated not to see it.
Yeah, it's such a mainstay. It's like, if it's gone, it's just like, are we even watching Easel? I don't know.
Don't worry, I'm still here. I've been watching New Who. It's kind of mid. We can come back to that later.
Well, we have time for our Doctor Who podcast. That's for another time. But now, you mentioned there are a lot of interesting stats that come up with the teams. And as I mentioned, Phantom Thieves are 2-1. They've had their first loss last week. So they might be struggling with a bit of momentum going on here. While, on the other hand, Frey's have lost 2 games in a row, and they won their first one last week. They're riding on the momentum train, while Phantom Thieves, even though they may be a win up, might be struggling with momentum. What else do these teams have in like variety or statistics or crazy information for us to cover, Easel?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I'd love to talk about it. The most interesting thing is just how strong, dominant, insane Phantom Thieves are looking coming into this. Almost everyone on their team has 1.2 and above KD, except for one individual. We won't name names right now. But on the other side, Frey teams, everybody is negative. And obviously, these stats are reflective of the 2-1 history compared to a 1-2, so it is going to be skewed for both sides. But Phantom Thieves, like, their numbers are just better coming into this, and their first bloods too. Like, we got to talk about that. Cinder and Ayuki, they have the 3rd and 4th most first bloods out of anybody in this tournament. 27 and 28 kills. You were doing the numbers. I think we were talking about it. That's 50 first bloods, and they've played like 70, 80.
It could be 70, yeah, between 70 and like 120 rounds. But still, either way, that's a crazy stat.
50% of the time, one of these 2 players are getting the first blood. And if it's not them contributing, it's one of the other 3 not dying. The other 3 players are 3 out of the 4 lowest deaths in the whole league, in the whole
No! Say that again, say that again, one more time.
Okay, I'll slow it down. Nismo, Enhanced, and Young Toad are 3 of the 4 lowest death players. Like, they've died the least. So 2/3 of the team is getting the kills, and the other 2/3 are staying alive while they do it. So it's like they're stacked no matter how you break this down.
Yeah, this team just looks fantastic. And I mean, this is honestly what we would expect coming from a team that came in 2nd place in the summer split, right? So they're a team that has consistently performed at a very high level. So honestly, at this point, it's kind of expected that they should be performing this way. Maybe not with these numbers. I mean, these numbers are kind of insane, right? But to me at least, it shouldn't be too shocking that we're seeing them at least leading in a few categories. So today, when I think about Phantom Thieves coming into this match, they're going to be looking to show everybody that they're going to meet expectations. They're going to continue to perform like this, right? That these early statistics aren't a fluke, and that they're going to continue to be a dominant force. So honestly, as far as expectations go for them, they just need to show me that they're going to come out with another dominant performance.
And show that, like you said, a fluke, and show that last week wasn't a fluke, because they went 0-2 on their maps last week. So it's like, were their opponents that good last week? Would they just slip up and not have enough coffee before the match? Ooh, that's where we're gonna find out. And on the same vein, same thing.
Is coffee that essential to playing good? Look, maybe I'm not playing on Val, but like,
listen, you need your energy drink if you need to hit those high caliber flick shots.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, without my Red Bull, I just won't be able to move my mouse like I normally do.
How do you get a Red Bull clutch without a Red Bull?
You bring up a good point. You bring up a very good point.
That's right. Look, maybe I got to get on the energy drink game. I've been saying a cup of tea is normally what's enough to sustain me, to be completely honest.
Okay, yeah.
Now,
another thing. Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. No. Continue.
I was going to say another thing that I thought was really interesting was Phantom Thieves. They have such a well-rounded team, man. It's crazy. They're perfect circle. Everything's covered. They've got everything they need. It's like those graphs where the stat points, people's strength and speed and intelligence, and they're all like maxed out in that pentagon.
Right.
But on the other hand, Frey's is much more. It's what's the word? It's volatile. There's a lot of disparity in the team ranks. There's people who are really strong and really weak. Easel, again, you got this down. What is there about this between the teams? Well, hold on. Before we get that, let's take a quick squiz at the maps that we did get picked and banned. Jungle God, take us through them.
So FFT decided to ban Ascent first, PT banned Bind. Personally, no surprises here. FFT selected Pearl, which we, talking to them before, was one of their favorite maps. Now, one of the things that I think we should mention too about FFT is, honestly, I think they're going to be looking for a lot of map control. They love to play Viper, right? One of the controllers that just really values map control. So seeing a map like Pearl makes sense. Honestly, I feel like a map like Haven, not going to work too well for them, but this is a map that we expected Phantom Thieves to pick, right? They're going to be playing for a high pick play style, right? So a map like Haven, that's going to help facilitate that kind of thing. Last map, the decider, if we head there, going to be Icebox, which is one that, again, FFT really likes. They really like this one. So honestly, these map picks played into their hands very well, with the exception of Haven. So if they could come away with one map win, I think in one of the first two maps, they're going to be looking to be in a very good position on Icebox.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying, Jungle God. And I kind of tag on to what we were saying. Although this is a very good pool for Frey, when we were talking beforehand and we're like, okay, Phantom Thieves seem like they like playing for picks. So Haven, Breeze are good options. I kind of forgot about Pearl. Pearl is a good map for that too, because you can isolate those duels very well. You can almost anywhere you're peeking on the map is very separate from anywhere else, whether you're going mid or one of the longs on either side. And so that's kind of what it ended up leading itself to. And it brings us to Agent Select is coming through in a second, and you were talking about Frey. They're more slow, more controlled, because we were looking at that Viper pick, which we're like almost 100% we're going to see that. But then also the Jet Chamber pick, which I wanted to touch on. They said that they like running, and this is kind of looping back. All right, guys, remember 3 minutes ago when I was being tossed to you by Quicksand to talk about the distribution graphs? Well, this is that. On the side of Frey's, they have like 2 star players, and the rest are a little bit lower compared to Phantom Thieves is more balanced overall. Well, so Frey's is going to put their star players obviously on Jet and Chamber to get those frags. And so we're 100% basically going to see Sika on probably Chamber and Donut Keeper on Jet, or vice versa. And then Cricket being the planter, they have 21 plants. It's both of these teams, interestingly, almost have dedicated planters. Cricket planting almost all the times, and on the other side, Entranced planting just a ridiculous amount, 33 times in a couple games. But yeah, so we're going to see that kind of agent play style to play into that, with just 2 main fraggers and then the rest to support them. And the other thing I want to note on is we were like, they told us that their play style is baity, and
yes,
are they just going to use their lower ranked players to bank their higher ranked players? Like, is that what that means? I don't know. Who says that their play style is baity? That's not team play.
I'm trying to get my head around it. What is they're either baiting their team, they're baiting the other team. I'm getting baited by the doorbell.
I think they're looking to bait the other team. I think one of the stats that popped out to me was the number of defuses per game that FFT's team has, and it's relatively high. I don't have the number right in front of me at the moment.
Can we actually pull up the agent select as you're saying that right now?
Yes, you're right. Yeah. I'll throw it over you guys. Good call, Easel. The agent select has already gone through while we got distracted talking about our champs, so I'll leave to Juggle and Easel to take you guys through. Well, we hardly even get to see the agents. Well, good luck, guys.
Yeah, we were a little slow on that. That's all right, though. But we get to take a peek at them now. So, to me, what this says is that FFT's team is going to be looking to retake site a lot on defense, right? They're going to allow the plan to happen, maybe put up a little bit of a defense, a little bit of resistance, but ultimately they're looking to play retake in this game.
Absolutely. And with these agent selects kind of coming through to play into that, we do see the Viper that we were talking about, but strangely enough, they told us they like Chamber and Jet. I guess just not on this map. We don't see any Chamber and Jet from the side of FFT, and given that they're on offense, it's not going to be too big of a thing, but at least they have a Cypher to make up for not having the trips that Chamber would otherwise provide, although Cypher's not really going to provide the same amount of firepower.
No, Cypher isn't. It's interesting seeing Donut Keeper on the Cypher. That's not only was I like you expecting to see them on either the Jet or Chamber, Cypher wasn't really even on the radar for me. So this is a little bit of a unique pick here, and I for one am excited to see how this is going to play out as we see some pressure starting to be put towards mid by Donut Keeper, but the lion's share, the majority of the team is starting to push down A.
And already the Cypher lurk coming through as they're poking and prodding the map. And here's the other thing that we need to keep an eye on coming into this is the Phantom Thieves, they don't even like people to plant. Like, they will block that as much as possible. They don't have very many diffuses per game, on averaging less than 2 diffuses per game, because they try and kill people before they even get to that place. But it is Phantom Keeper on the map who gets the first blood into this round, not Phantom Keeper, it's FFT's team who gets the first blood, so that's a huge start for them given how many first bloods are going to be going Phantom Thieves' way.
It was a beautiful lurk by Donut Keeper that caught out that initiator KO. Young Toad, though, is going to strike back and equalize things in the kill feed, as now the push is coming over onto A side. Prowler's going to force back Young Toad into that corner. They're going to have a hard time getting out, though, safely, so they're going to be looking for a pick here, maybe just to trade, as they barely dodge the pull from Fade. It's going to be a pick from Young Toad, though, onto Sika, as the spike has been planted. We're looking at a 3v3 retake here.
Oh, look at where Donut Keeper is.
Oh my gosh. Donut Keeper, we're gonna have to, he's hard to keep an eye on, but it's gonna be Nismo who finds him, looking the other way as they move up towards heaven. Gonna make this a 3v2 now. Zozea going for the lineup, seeing if they can keep him off the spike. It's gonna be close though. They're gonna have to set off the molly and the smoke. That's gonna get him down to 1 HP. They're successfully able to keep him off the spike. Zozoya gonna see if they can spray through the smoke one more time to get the kill. They get one, but the defuse goes through.
Oh, and the kicker is they end up getting the other one either, ending with a 3K for the round. Zoya with a beautiful attempt, but not able to stall quite enough when that smoke ended up coming up. Their own smoke was kind of their downfall because they couldn't find the player. But ultimately, they end up getting much more frags than I was expecting coming into that. And that's a really good showing from FFT, even if they weren't able to secure the round in the end. I noticed they are buying just a little bit more than I would expect into this round. 3 light shields and 3 ghosts. There's definitely some strats on the table that they're going to be using to take this A site.
Yeah, this is very interesting. They're really throwing a lot of their eggs into this basket right here. Zozea looking to throw down that same Viper's Wall on A site to give them an easier time pushing in, cutting off both of those entrances. And it's a beautiful thing they did, because that's exactly where both of the defenders are right now. They don't want to push through this wall. Prowler comes through. It's going to catch them off guard, but Entrenched still able to get the kill despite being hit by that Prowler. The plant will go through, though, as site control is given away. Molly comes in a little bit late to prevent the defuse, but it does do a little bit of chip damage. Actually, quite a bit to Zozaya, who is able to find someone before they're taken out. 3v3 now. Cricket holding down site with Nismo.
Concealment.
Molly thrown out to keep out away sight. He's gonna swing around the corner. Donut Keeper, though, gotta find Nismo. Looking the other way. Sika coming in for a pick, and that's gonna even up the score line. What a round win.
What a good, what is that, an anti-buy? Right. Not even an anti-eco. Just a really good, we're talking about those ghosts, interesting pick. They played for it perfectly. They divided up sites. They only had to take the longer angle that the ghost was better for with that Viper wall up on the left side. And then they just spread out. And it was once again that lurk through mid, that pivotal Donut Keeper lurk. We wanted to keep an eye on Donut Keeper coming into this. They told us to, and we better continue to do so because these are some round-changing lurks that we've already seen just in the first two.
They absolutely are. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is that Ayuki, one of those top players, the player, in fact, with the most first bloods on Phantom Thieves, is not in this game. He's been subbed in for Conquer. So I'm wondering if maybe not having that big first blood presence isn't affecting them a little bit, because it is unusual to see them going down, like you said, in that, what, anti-buy round? Whatever it is that you want to call it. But we're getting a very fast push out onto A site now. That's going to be secured very quickly by FFT. Quansler, though, is able to come in with a pick onto Conquer, making the site even more secure for Freyfrays. But he wants to push in just yet. They've got every single angle covered right now. They're waiting until everybody's in position. Nismo fires one shot, giving away their position as well. That's going to be one star put out. Quansler, though, and Cricket combined for a pair of kills. Nismo with a beautiful flank to find another, though. Cinder gonna see if they can find somebody, but they don't think they know that Viper's right around the corner. They see the gun, gets the kill. Nismo pushing out onto site now. They're the last player standing. They got a 1v4 this, but they know exactly where they are. They pick up a gun. It's gonna be Satchel to get out of the way. They're gonna try and see if they can get the defuse, but not going to be the case.
And not enough time in the round. Freyfray's team just playing that great. They played to their advantages once again. I really didn't expect Pearl coming into this, and they're using it so well. They've just done both times that they've gone A. They just destroyed. And that was against a weak buy, so there wasn't much that Phantom Thieves could bring into it, being the team with the higher firepower. But this time, they do have full rifles across the board. I'll be one with light shields. So I'd expect they're able to put a number up on the board, more than one, and maybe even things out here, as it's looking to be contact in mid.
Now, this is interesting. We haven't seen a big push through mid just yet from Freyfray's team, but considering they're down in the econ, they're going to have a little worse buy with the guns. It makes sense that they might want to push this way, kind of stick together, see if they can't just overpower the other team and take some advantageous 2v1s or 3v1s. It's going to be a Paint Shell getting a little bit of damage onto Cinder. Quansler dropping down now, waiting to go through this smoke. They're going to satchel out. Going to be able to pick out one player coming through the smokes, but it's going to be Cinder able to take them down. They're traded out there. We're now got a 4v2. Cricket looking to secure site with Zozaya. Plant should go through. That's going to be a Viper's Pit as well. That's going to make things massively more difficult, as if they weren't already for Phantom Thieves.
Just truly a free plant. There was nobody even close to contest it. Both players were still rotating over. They were the ones holding the other angles onto site, not the ones that were pushed. And now they have to retake into the Viper smoke. The flash was a good idea, but it doesn't quite find anybody. But the blind smoke, they are able to get down Astra. Oh, the kills are just going back and forth so quickly. It's all up into enhanced, low on HP. Unable to do it. Cricket closes it out. I had to run with it a little bit because they ran with it into Viper's Pit, and it doesn't doesn't end up working. I expected them to take that round. They had the gun advantage, and they had knowledge of how the Frey have been pushing the map, but Frey are still able to abuse the mechanics of this map, or lack thereof. They're just clearing all the corners, and they did it together. They played together through mid, like you mentioned. Then when they're playing together, it's okay that they have weaker guns, because all of their guns are contributing just a little bit, just getting that chip damage. And we're actually seeing that in their buy. Look at that. 4 Phantoms and 1 Vandal. The Phantom's been kind of out of the meta recently, but hey, I think that these guys are going to be playing into that chip damage that it can provide. And like you said, that team play is going to be so pivotal, already taking down Chamber as an opening first blood.
Donut Keeper is down though, so that's a very variable pick the other direction. 4v4 now, but the advantage still firmly in the hands of Frey's team. If they could just continue to ride this gun difference to a win, that'll be great. But Cinder has other ideas. Hosea able to get though a pick and the end onto them. It's the 3v3 now as Sika finds one more. Cinder is down once again. That first blood, that top fragger that we're expecting to see. 2v2 now as Quanzler evens things up, and now we're seeing a big run over towards a sprint by both teams, but oh, the double juke, you love to see it.
Perfectly timed, and now they're just creeping back towards B. They completely cut audio, and now Phantom Thieves realize they may have been juked. You can see they're still cautious of it, but Viper's like, no, wait a second. I think I need to start inching the other way. She does have her wall up here that she can play with a little bit, but she's nowhere close to even make something happen of it. And now in this 2v2, it looks like it's going to be another free plant for Frey. This is the second time that they've just, you know, just gotten it for free. They've just worked the map in such an intelligent way, and now they get to play that post plant again. We already saw this on the first round, so Quatzler's just going to try and stall them a little bit, give time for Viper to get in position, and then, well, it's anyone's game now.
Yeah, Young Toad though looking to push out onto the side. Hosea though likely with the lineups once again. We've seen how effective they've been already. Young Toad does get a pick. PT and Trance finds the other one. The defuse coming in. There's not enough time though. They're running away because the molly is there. The lineup is secure, but is there enough time for the defuse? They're gonna try for it. They're gonna see if they can get it, and it's going to be successful.
For a second, the dream was there with the Viper molly, but it just was shot a little bit preemptively because they were being applied so much pressure, especially with that Sheriff shot across long. The Sheriff should not be that effective that range, but enough chip damage was done that it does end up being it. Once again, coming into this round, look at that, another 4 Phantoms by the side of Frey's team. And so I want to say, Juggle God, I commend you. This is exactly what you were expecting to see from them, and how they're going to play into, you know, not necessarily having the same raw aim duels, or maybe it's just the fact that on Breeze there are a lot of these tight corners similar to Split, and well, the Phantom's good just for whipping around and kind of running around the map.
Yeah, exactly. It really isn't that extra chip damage you get. Cinder, though, gonna strike a first blow for Phantom Thieves. Sika strikes back, though, gonna equalize in the kill feed. And again, that's a big pick here for Frey's team, or for Phantom Thieves, for Frey's team, rather. And Trance trying to keep them at bay. There's going to be a flash, but it flashes them instead. Donut Keeper going to be able to spray through it, gets the kill. Drops the Cyber Cage as well to give them a nice push onto site through mid. But they still have Young Toad waiting, who finds them out as the Viper wall goes up. Quanzler now is trying to push in. With the Viper wall cutting off all their vision. They're going to satchel in. They don't see anybody just yet, but Young Toad is hiding right behind their wall. Here comes the Cosmic Divide that's going to allow for a nice plant for FFT.
Coming into the retake, they still have quite a bit of utility left because there wasn't a whole lot of contact on A site other than the initial trade. And so they're just waiting for this wall to go down so they can get a little bit more information. And in the meantime, they've repositioned back site. They're on all 3 sides of it. Chambers peeked out, but Raze wasn't there, but she ended up being able to trade it back anyways. Now it's all up to Astra. Astra v Astra.
Nismo with a beautiful play right there. Gonna try for the defuse, but that's gonna be the pull coming in. Is the flash gonna be there? No, it's not, but Sika gets the kill to secure the round for Frey's.
So close though. Look at Sika's HP with just 12 HP to close out the round.
Right?
That could have gone anyone's way. And it's kind of crazy the fact that they're it's so close, and yet I have to say I'm kind of surprised. Frey are bringing a lot to this map, and maybe proving to us that 2-0 that they got last week, that win, that momentum, they can keep that going. And they've shattered the economy of Phantom Thieves because of how close these rounds have been. Another eco on their side, and maybe a likely 5th on the board for Frey's team.
Big push coming out on towards A. Viper's Wall already down, but we're getting a very aggressive push coming out from Phantom Thieves. This could be them trying to lean into their more aggressive playstyle, seeing if they can't get a couple of picks and prevent Frey's team from even pushing in onto site. Tripwire thrown up by Donut Keeper. Tags Cinder. Gonna send out the Prowler. Find him. He's running away as fast as he can and somehow manages to get away. Pulls the dart out and hides with their pistol. But wow, that's a lot of great utility usage there from FFT to really secure that line, but we're getting a rotation.
Cypher and Phoenix.
Oh, Cinder with the kill. Saw the gun barrel peeking through the cyber cage. Quansler now been detected, been suppressed. Still holding down this angle, looking to see if they can catch anybody pushing up on the rotate. Gonna be more patience. They find one. Can they get a second? They aren't able to. Nismo is able to trade out, but Cricket is there for the final pick. Now it's just gonna be Cricket against the world, or at least 3 members of Phoenix or Phantom Thieves.
Bring them down.
Bring out the Prowler, seeing if they can clear sight just a little bit, maybe get an entry pick. They find one that it's gonna be entranced. Whose shots ring true? And PT takes the round.
That was perhaps the first time that we've really seen Phantom Thieves able to leverage a first blood. Like you mentioned, not having a Yuki in this match is very difficult for them, and so that might be why they're struggling so much, is because they're used to being in those man advantage situations, and that time when it was Frey's team in the disadvantage, they kind of felt like they fell apart. They didn't know what their plan was once they were left, well, not able to execute the way that they've put together with all their different members' utility combined. And so another A site hit. It appears to be, this time there is a Viper's Pit on the other side, so it's not going to be quite so easy as they had it in the past.
No, it certainly isn't. And in fact, we're seeing the rotation come out fairly quickly, but this has to be anticipated by Phantom Thieves. In the meantime, though, Donut Keeper finds Conquer. That's a big pick in mid. That gives a lot of map control over to FFT, but they're moving in very, very quickly down main. Nismo might spot them out, but they turn the other way. They turn around right at the last moment to try her. That was Cinder. Turn around right at the last moment, hiding behind that pillar. Cinder is able to catch one, but see how trades them out. Cinder now still lurking behind that wall, but they're going to be picked off. FFT now has a pretty good entry onto the site. They're going to throw the Nightmare and the Showstopper out to clear sight and to allow for the plant to come through. Oh, and Trance.
Kills are still coming through in the meantime. Yeah, Trance just demolishing Cricket on site. Look at that. They're pulling back this late in the round because look, Cypher's in their spawn. These guys are not even with their gun out.
Donut Keeper is a tricky one. They're constantly catching people on flanks and rotates, and at some point you think and you hope that Phantom Thieves will become wise to their ways, but he's going to be a thorn in their side all the time, and he's going to keep them guessing throughout this matchup. But we've got a very fast rotation coming over towards A site. They have to go for the plant immediately when they get there. Donut Keeper going to be able to get the kill as somebody peeks around the corner to try and prevent the plant. It's going to be Nismo pushing out onto site. Quansler finds them. They're going to find the shot as well to extend the lead to 2.
And it's no surprise that it's Donut Keeper in all these rounds. We're talking about how they have different fraggers, or like higher fraggers and lower ones. Well, Donut Keeper is one of their highest fraggers, and also with 15 first bloods on their match history. So sure, that's not nearly as much as Phantom Thieves have, but it shows that they're doing enough. And I think that they probably already have at least 4 or 5 first bloods just in this match alone.
Oh, right.
And they are the one I would have expected to see on Chamber, and so the fact that they're still able to get these frags and being 10-5 on Cypher shows it's not the Chamber getting the kills, but the player playing the Chamber.
Right, exactly. Prowler is going to be sent out to try and clear some way onto A site. Young Toad going to attempt to hold things down. If this Prowler comes out, they're going to see it come through. It's not going to catch anybody. Boombot now sent through to try and clear, as well as the paint shells. That's going to be a lot of util expended, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Donut Keeper and Quanzler coming up big for FFT. So Zaya going for the plant. Quanzler keeping track of things. Nismo peeks around the corner. A couple of bullets exchanged. Now they know exactly where one of the players is. And Trance holding a very, very far back position, though.
They're so scared of Donut Keeper. He's got them on so many flanks that they don't even go for sight because they're worried that he's going to come up behind them, and eventually Donut Keeper will. Donut Keeper always does. But it's PT Conqueror creeping into back sight, trying to find an angle. Unable to do so.
Yeah, didn't quite check his 6 right there. That's going to lead to another round for FFT.
This feels like it's snowballing a little bit here, Juggle God. I expected Phantom Beast to be able to run away with it, but when they're not able to put themselves in advantageous positions, and when, like you said, Frey are able to combo that utility so effectively, I think it was a combination, actually, of the Viper and the Raze utility that enabled the Boombot to just one-shot and give them that opening kill with utility, which is kind of crazy. Well, simultaneously to Donut Keeper doing Donut Keeper's thing. Being the keeper of the kills, and well, it's the same story again. Look at that, it's another hit headed towards A site, and you can tell they're aware of this though, with 3 people over on that side of the map, and Cinder going for early aggression.
Now this is what I was hoping to see coming out from Phantom Thieves right here. Huge aggressive push on the defense, giving them a 1-player advantage as we get the rotation coming in from Frey's team.
That's exactly what we wanted to see. Like you're saying, we talked a lot about before this game that they don't even want the defuse to happen. They want to kill them before they get there, and they haven't been doing that. This time, they do. They take that aggressive defense. The best defense is a good offense in their case, and this time it has been so far. But Donut Keeper, once again, so far back.
Donut Keeper, how do you do this? Even when I feel like he should be seen, he isn't. He is the slipperiest player. So Zaya gonna go ahead and pop the Viper's Pit as well. Plant should be secured fairly easily. Now they're gonna take a position defensively, apparently near Istanbul.
Yeah, maybe a little bit from there, but it's Donut Keeper who's getting the kill once again. And Trance is aware of it, but can't land the shots. Still a thorn in their sides.
Yeah, Donut Keeper is down to 1 tap, though. 1 shot, so it's a pretty good place to be. Sika finds the kill. Now they know somebody's in the smoke, and it's going to be Donut Keeper from somewhere, somehow, finding the kill.
Look at that, 7-3 on the board. You know, if I am Phantom Thieves, I'm going, okay, the only thing that's gotten us close has been our eco round, but also that aggression was a good early start. They just weren't able to follow up on it. If Astra had just swung behind Phoenix right there, if Nismo had just been able to follow up Cinder, then they would have been able to catch players reloading after dealing with him. But they didn't trade off of that effectively, and that's where that round ended up falling apart, even with the good opening blood.
Well, let's see if they can turn it around here. It's going to be another very quick push onto A site, but they're probably expecting. Look at that. The pull from Astra was phenomenal. Caught Cinder right where they were standing. So Zaya going to have to wait to push onto site, though. That's going to allow some of the defense to rotate around. And Trance now in a good position to try and hold down site once they start pushing in. Got the molly ready to go, but Donut Keeper! Donut Keeper, you're a madman. Just, no matter what, they're never looking at him.
I saw the knife for a second. I had a brief glimpse. Doesn't do him to him quite. And Conqueror now not able to do it either. Oh man, it's Young Toad in a 1v4.
Oh wow, and they know where they are. The molly thrown to prevent them from pushing in, or at least they have a suspicion. Gonna peek around the corner, take a couple shots down. 10 health, they find one Sika out of the equation, but they've been identified. And Donut Keeper! Donut Keeper was there all along!
Yeah, we were talking about it. They know where they are. I was like, okay, wait, no. Donut Keeper knows. I saw them on the map. They saw each other. They saw his barrel. Why isn't he shooting him? And then the realization slowly kicked in. They were like, wait, I already missed out on 1 knife this round. Not again. And the knife is the blow to the back. The swipe at their knees, taking the wind out of their sails. And now it's them just going for the Vandal by this time. To me, that says, well, we're going for a little bit more individual play because our team play is not quite doing it right now.
Exactly. They want to try and take these duels 1v1. They want to try and just out-aim duel their opponent. But the thing is, Frey's team is not allowing them to do that. And Donut Keeper isn't either, because you've always got to keep your eye on Donut Keeper. Conquer, though, with a nice lurk there, but that's given away his position. And now he's in a bad spot. A beautiful banked molly as well from Zozea. Not needed, but Donut Keeper knows exactly where he is.
3 out of 5.
How does he do it? How does he do it? He's got a sixth sense. I don't understand.
That timing could not have been better for Donut Keeper. On the other side, Phoenix is finally like, yes, I can use my ult. I've charged it up. I know exactly where they are. I heard their footsteps. Right? But it doesn't matter because he was still coming out of the ult before the gun was able to come out. So it just ends up falling to pieces. Donut Keeper with only 30 HP, but still going to be a thorn in Astra's side somewhere on the map. Nismo doesn't know where.
No, they have no clue. But Donut Keeper gonna find their way around actually near towards the rest of their team. Nismo in a very difficult position. But they're getting a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. Each one of them just a one tap away. So Nismo absolutely has a way to pull this off. Gonna throw out one bit of util. They're gonna find Cricket. They're gonna fake the defuse, see if they can pull someone out. That's gonna be one, but Zozea able to wait, able to have that trigger discipline until the right moment to strike.
Switching sides.
And we didn't see the trigger discipline on the side of Phantom Thieves. When we saw it, you saw Conqueror push all the way up mid. I was so ready for them to finally show something that was really cool. And like, all right, let 2, maybe 3 players walk past, but instead Conqueror is so desperate to get their KD closer to even. They shoot at the first player that comes by, and that's not enough at this point. Bringing them into a 3-9, potentially, I have to acknowledge it, activating the curse. However, there is a triple ghost buy coming in on the side of Frey's, which has been, that's their shtick. They love the ghost on the pistol, and they're going to use it here once again.
Yeah, they are. It's shown up in a huge way for them in the past. So I don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's gonna be a pretty fast push up towards B. Viper's wall already down, cutting off about half of sight from visibility. Astra Star going to come out as well to make this a little bit more difficult to push onto, but site is somewhat secure. They're going to start the plant at least. Ika right around the corner, though. Let's see if they can trade out. They find somebody peeking out. They don't get the shots that they do on the second try. That's going to be a slight advantage now over to Frey's. Young Toad throwing out the molly, trying to prevent the defuse. Might have come out a little bit too early, though, as the smoke is getting ready to expire as well. So Zaya finds one on the flank, but now the position has been given away. Young Toad starting to try and hold things down, but they just can't, and Sika will get the defuse.
I actually want to point out, it was Sika, the way that they won that gunfight wasn't through taking the aim duel, but through baiting Donut Keeper. They shot a couple shots and then fell back, let them shoot Donut Keepers, so they had to reload and readjust, and then they took the kills for themselves. So when they told us that their strat is baity, maybe they were talking about Sika.
Yeah, maybe they were. They're baiting their own teammates and to get the kills.
If it works, I'm not gonna knock it.
Yeah, no, I've had people do that to me in a game, and I'm like, whatever, we won the round. I don't care. It's gonna be a Prowler sent out, letting them know that there's a big push coming in through mid. They're not gonna waste any time on that. Astra Smoke, though, giving them some pause. Donut Keeper able to just spray and pray and get the kills. It's gonna be a 5v2 now. Donut Keeper with just 2 HP. It's only gonna take a quick right click from Nismo to take them out, but now Nismo down to a little less than half HP.
And they're pinched in the middle of the map. Raze is coming up right behind them.
Oh, yeah. Raze takes a shot to the face. They satchel back, but they do get some damage onto Young Toad as well. That's going to be a molly to see if they can catch him in a corner and see if they could just get that little bit of damage to finish him off, but not going to be the case. They're still caught here, and look at this. Look at this map control coming out from FFT.
I'm surprised they actually pull someone away from B rather than keeping that there, but they're just banking on the fact that Raze will probably hear something if they walk down this long, or rather, it's what they don't hear. If no one comes that way, they're probably going the other way, and they're playing off of each other in intelligent angles rather than taking these aim duels because they've already given away 2 guns already. Now, as they creep over to the other site, there's no movement, but they'll be able to retake together, and that's the important thing. That's the teamwork that we were talking about.
Exactly.
Wait, why is Spike going up?
What? No, they're playing for the picks. There's only 20 seconds left. What are they doing?
I think he just realized he has Spike.
Yeah, he's got to go for the plant. And now we're getting the rotation coming through as well. They have to realize that's not on A anymore. They're going to hear the plant going down. Sika going to try and pull them off the plant, but the plant does go through regardless. Sika pushing in. There's a barely any health left for either of these. Jose is going to spray through, finds Nismo with the Bulldog. Young Toad now with 16 HP. Zozea going in for the defuse. There's the molly. There's the pick. They're gonna find them. Gonna put the molly on the Spike as well, but it's been taken down to half, and there's still plenty of time. They're coming through from both directions. They find the kill. They will get the defuse, and now we're just 2 points away from a Fray game 1.
Oh God, I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm gonna expose ourselves. Coming into this matchup, looking at the stats, being analyst Andes, we said, oh, for sure, this is a 2-0. 3 out of 3 of us agreed this had a huge potential to be a 2-0. And instead, it's Fray showing their match last week. That was not a fluke. And at the same time, it's Phantom Thieves not having one of their biggest impact fraggers, not having one of their first blood getters, their bloodletters. Really, Ayuki normally gets 28 kills per game. That's so much.
Yeah, when you're missing those kinds of numbers, things just aren't going to, continue, I think, to go well. That's going to be a nice spray through the smoke from Entrance to find Sika. That's going to open side up in a big way. Allow them to really get the plant off with impunity. Nice molly as well from Cinder to prevent the approach from mid. But Quansler gonna start to push there with Fade as well. Flash comes in, gonna stall them for a second. Young Toad takes out Donut Keeper. That's a big boon. 5v3 now. Cricket goes down low. It's gonna be another trade, but that's only gonna play into the hands of Phantom Thieves. Quansler very, very low, able to take one out as a 1v1. What looked like it was a sure thing for Phantom Thieves, not looking so great anymore. Zozea, though, with almost full health, gonna take the defuse, goes through the fire a little bit. Cinder down to just 42 HP, gonna be chased around. I don't think there's any time left. They go for the shots. They do find them. They're gonna go for the defuse, but it's too late. That's gonna be a much needed round for the Phantom Thieves.
Oh, and at the very edge of the bomb. Man, that one was a nail biter. Eventually, they're able to get another one on the board. Here's the kicker, though. That was such an eco buy for the side of the Fray's team. None of them bought into that round, and this time they have full rifles across the board. So even though Phantom Thieves won the battle, they kind of lost the war.
Yeah.
They don't have the weapons coming into what could be the second to last round in the map. There's some really good ideas all over B side, though.
Yeah, there absolutely is, but this is going to be a very heavy push A site. When you hear the Viper's Pit thrown out mid. But unfortunately for Phantom Thieves, nobody's really thinking about that at the moment, though we do have a couple of players lurking. It's going to be Viper's Wall thrown out now, so they have to expect us push onto A site. Cypher just holding back for the moment. They're going to wait for them to push out onto site, wait until they start to feel secure. Catches one player. They see them, though, as well. They know they're there. They catch them looking the other way and pick up a rifle. That's going to be Cinder now. A huge null command coming out from KO as well. It's going to make things pretty good for them. Sika does find the duplicate Cinder. PT holding the flash, waiting for the push to come in. Cricket tries. Has to back off from the flash. Prowler thrown out. It's going to find one player. KO is identified. Can they move in on that? No, they can't, because Cinder finds another pick onto Sika. And now, Phantom Thieves, they say we're not done yet. We've still got something in the tank, as it's a 2v3, 1v3. No time left for the defuse, and Phantom Thieves take it again.
That was, I'm going to say it, a huge flub on Fray's part. The Viper's Pit in mid, good idea. Having 3 people watching the Viper's Pit in mid, is that a strategy? Is that a miscommunication? If you're gonna Viper's Pit one site, then you put everyone else everywhere else. They could have had 2-3 players on A site or B site, and instead they had 3 people watching the Viper's Pit in mid, and so they were all coming back from mid, but A site's already lost because it was Cypher alone. And you might have the Sentinel utility, but that's not really the type of Cypher's kit specifically can't stop people. It can just identify them, really.
Gonna be Cinder throwing out a molly, seeing if they can find anyone lurking behind that wall, but no one to be found. That's gonna at least allow them to push onto site a little bit more securely. Plant is going to come in. Here comes the Viper's Pit as well. Trades are out. Nightmare thrown in as well. Cricket sends out the Prowlers. See if they can find anybody through the Viper's Pit. Zozea throws in a molly too. Make that a smoke. Nismo just spamming through it at the moment. But right now, Donut Keeper's finding the picks they need. They're able to get picked out though. Unfortunately, it's a 2v2. Viper's still up though. The molly comes in, preventing the defuse. They throw in another one. The Viper is down. Zozea out of the mix. There's the molly once again. They're going for the defuse. It's going to be Young Toad pushing through. They get the kill. And what is this? Phantom Thieves. There's still life in them.
Here's the difference. When they're playing on attack, they don't need to have as good of necessary coordination. They can just push something, and that's what they did that round. They pushed B. Like I have to say it with extra emphasis because they pushed that so strongly and just locked it down once they were there. And there was once again a couple flubs on the side of Frey maybe getting a little bit shaky with it. They missed their Prowler, so they weren't able to capitalize on the Nightmare. And well, now they do have the right read with 3 people on A site. But it's been looking a little bit rough. The economy's been completely reset, so there's a very real chance that Phantom Thieves start to pull it back, starting a couple rounds ago even, but really here.
Joke's over. You're safe.
Oh, we're gonna see a very fast push in coming through with Cinder. It's gonna be his clone taken out though. He's gonna have to run it back as it were. PT and Trance throwing out the flash as they back off and consider a rotation over to B side, but there's still plenty of support over there, and we're actually seeing Fade send out a Prowler through mid. It's going to at least catch one, so now they know the rotation is at least being considered.
Look at Cinder just sitting on A site, got picked off. Just Phantom Thieves maybe having a little bit of a flub of their own, and Cypher telling them all the information they need. All 4 players remaining are on that site, and she's there to deal with it.
Yeah, Sika in a beautiful position inside their own smoke. Nismo does eventually find them, but not before they make it a 4v2. It's just going to be Young Toad seeing what they can get done. They find one, they find a second, they reload, they pull out the pistol, but the shots ring true, and we are at match point.
I thought for a second, oh no, the spray down's coming through, but not able to make it connect. Eventually, Frey do land the rest of their shots, and so their team is able to put them at a match point, like you said. But look at that, C-Cop can't buy very well, or I guess maybe it's Raze that can't buy, just a judge in their hands, and I bite my words. That's good enough. They're playing those tight angles on mid. That judge is probably better than a rifle at that close of a range anyways.
Yeah, that's very true. It certainly could be. Can have a very quick push through mid towards A site. That's going to be a lot of the defenders backing up and giving room. Donut Keeper finds one, but is traded out. Lot less intel going to be moving forward, but look at this. The A side is completely open at the moment, but we do have 3 rotating over. It's going to be Cinder who finds Quansler as they're peeking out. I believe Quansler even saw them first. So Plant is going to come through. They try and plant, they try and get the molly to hit, but it doesn't quite find its mark. 2v2 now, but Spike is planted.
1 enemy remaining.
It's going to be Young Toad taking out one. It's just going to be Sika left. They can clutch out this round. They get the win, but that's not going to be the case. And Phantom Thieves have brought it to within 5.
I thought that was going to be the end. Honestly, It was kind of a weird round. They were pushing through mid, and because of that, they ended up leaving their Phoenix as the lurker, which they have so many people. They have a Viper, they have an Astra, they have a Chamber. Like, those are all lurkers. and instead it's Phoenix, but it ends up working out because Young Toad showed up in a big way. Now positive on the scoreboard and positively rocketing themselves in the correct direction, which appears to be towards B site. Not the stack correctly this time on the side of FrayFrays. It is an eco, so they're just going to look to catch someone off guard.
I think Conquer hears some people towards mid. They know the Prowler's been put out as well. Rotation has already come through, so now they can start pushing through in behind them. Plants coming in. Donut Keeper pushes out. They find one, but they're traded out. That's going to be Conquer taking Cricket out as well. They're going to be able to res, too. So now we got a 5v3. This is looking fantastic for Phantom Thieves.
Seacon does see someone going back site, but is unable to do anything about it with just a classic, and now suppressed as well. Can't even catch the timing, gets spotted out, and Cinder just cleans them up. Now in a 2v5, oh man, this eco is just falling apart.
Yeah, it really, really is. This is going to end up, is it a flawless round if one person went down and got res? I'm not sure, but it's a chance we're about to find out. Zozea, though, says, no, we won't. Gonna be smoke thrown out as well. They're just gonna be looking for exit picks here, but Conquer finds them instead.
And good move from Conquer to take down Viper there. Make sure that they're not pulling another rifle into the next round, because if they can keep their economy in shambles, oh, just maybe they can string together 5 more and bring this to OT.
Yeah, I mean, that would be absolutely ridiculous if that indeed happened. But this is gonna be a big buy here for FrayFray's team, and they've got a little bit of an ult advantage as well. Cricket's not far off from theirs too.
And you said it might be kind of ridiculous, but look at the round history. FrayFrays did get 7 in a row on their own. So yeah, we've seen a 7 in a row happen before. Is it going to come from the other side? Because FrayFrays, the longer this goes on, the more shaky it feels like it is, and on defense, they're just getting spread pretty thin. Once again, Cypher alone on A site.
Yeah, and they've even backed off and given a lot of site control away too. But we did talk about this earlier. We were anticipating they like the retake. And so that does appear to be what they are playing for. Quanzler has a nice angle. Takes a couple shots, but they are going to let the push come through. Donut Keeper is down. Spike is planted. Advantage to Phoenix Thieves. Ooh, Quanzler's got a nice angle here. Here's Cinder around the corner. Gonna throw him out. Molly's down. Oh, beautiful shot coming in from Conquer. It's a 3v5 now. This is getting a lot more difficult. Zozea finds one, Sika finds another. Now it's a 3v3. Things are looking up all of a sudden. Are they going to go for the defuse? They are, but the Molly has to be coming in. They're able to take out Zozea with it, and they didn't even get it to half. Sika takes one out. They're going to be coming for the defuse. It's not going to be there. We're within 3.
Oh man, this is not how I envisioned this match going. It seems like FrayFray came into this with enough preparation and enough momentum, but now the game's gone on long enough that Phantom Thieves look like they've completely recovered from their 0-2 loss last week. Oh, and their playstyle just plays good into being on offense. You know, they talked about, or we talked about rather, that they're an aggressive, an attack-favored team. I have that written down verbatim in our notes. So the fact that they're doing good on attack, I guess we shouldn't be so surprised. Right. I look forward to seeing more of it, actually.
Absolutely. Sika takes out Conquer, though, with the Marshall. Marshall versus the Tour de Force. That one's got a sting right there. That's a beautiful start. Coming out, Cinder finds one, though, to even up the score line. Spike is being planted. Sika tries to pull them off the spike for the plant. They're able to do it. Cinder finds Quanzler, though, so advantage to the attackers once again. Is this FrayFray's team falling apart? It's just Donut Keeper left, but they're unable to do anything.
Cinder on Phoenix has heated up, very nearly securing themselves an ace in that round, single-handedly deconstructing their defenses. It started with Donut Keeper, and then they all fell one by one from there with a combination of utility flashes, and, well, everyone else just stood by, watched, gave a little clap, and I thought for a second they were actually going to just give him the ace for the confidence boost, but they don't need to. He's 25 and 20 on the scoreboard. that's enough of a boost in and of itself. But look at that. Donut Keeper 25 and 15. They're neck and neck in this. Donut Keeper's going to need to show up on defense, but it just feels like they're so isolated in their impact when they just sit on one site for a whole round. I think maybe that's the big difference. They're not able to have that whole map-wide lurking power that they had before. Actually, I don't think that we've really seen FFT's like push. I don't think that we've seen them go down into their spawn, go like back behind them very much at all.
No, they're playing it very, very passively, right? We thought that this was going to be the way they would play, that they would play for the retake. It's going to be an early advantage once again to Phantom Thieves. Plant is going to go down. And look at this, the rotation coming in from B. It's literally everyone on that team coming in through spawn as well.
Yeah, really good map control on the other side from Phantom Thieves. They know exactly where they're coming from because they have people in every other part of it. And Phoenix is going for the backstab. They're taking too long to get through this Astra ult.
Oh, Cinder finds one. They go for the flash. Gets a second. Gets a third.
8 kills in 2 rounds, bringing them to 11, 12.
Oh my gosh. Now the momentum is firmly in Phantom Thieves' favor at this point.
Absolutely.
They just need 1 round to essentially make this an entirely new game, right? To come back from 9-3, from the 9-3 curse.
No!
It's happening in front of our very eyes. And look at this, the econ for FFT is not good.
This is a full buy. They have nothing after this round. Well, it has to be because it's overtime or it's a win for them. So it's okay that it's shattered, but oh, it still hurts. And the aggression's coming in fast.
Cinder's going to take it out. That's going to be the ult coming in. Quansler finds one. That's an early advantage for FFT's team. They've got another potentially down. That's going to be Cinder having to back off, but Nismo and Youngto combined for 2. It's a 2v3 at this point. Donut Keeper, crucially, though, is still alive. Are they going to be able to find another? No, they're not, because Conquer gets them on the flank. Now it's just going to be up to Viper, Zozea, 1v3. They're pushing around the corner. Spike's getting planted. Conquer's around the corner. They likely heard the reload. Oh, here comes the Viper's pick, but Conquer is there. It's a tie game. We're going to OT.
The first OT. I didn't know what to do because I really thought that they had the right read there. FFT had 4 people already at the correct site, but they were unable to stop them anyways. What does that say? It says that Phantom Thieves are on fire, and even if it's a full 5v5, 5v4, they're hitting their shots, and Phoenix's Cinder is going to carry them with the Cinders that Phoenix is leaving behind. And now that it's flipped, we'll have to see if that momentum can hold because their defense was abysmal.
Yeah, it really was. This is so fascinating to see these teams. I mean, 2 9-3 halves, right, to lead us here to overtime. And it looks
both of
like
them having outstanding players too.
Yeah, they really are. There's you've got people showing up in the kill feed in a huge way. Conquer gets Donut Keeper down, but it's gonna be traded out by Quansler. Cinder now peeking through mid. Those Quanslers there. Paint Shell's going out. That's going to make things tough for Cinder, but the molly there for Quansler makes it tough too. Flash comes in. That's going to push Quansler back again, but Sika's there as well. Sika peeks through. Finds Cinder. That's an advantage now too for FFT.
Oh, 4v3, but Viper's on the other side of the map, so it might as well be 4v2 as they're approaching into this A site. There are 2 stars on the entry, so that could make things prove to be quite difficult. But if they can force Astra back, then they might just be able to get through anyways. Oh, but Viper's coming through, so it's going to be a all-out brawl.
That it is, and Zozea able to find Nismo, but Cricket gets caught in the pool from Astra. And Trance now forced to back off because of the Prowler. You know exactly where he is. He's going to put the flash out, finds one, but it's going to be Quansler taking them out. This could be FFT taking the lead once again, but Youngto doesn't want to let that happen. 2v1. This is absolutely winnable for Youngto, especially considering they have full HP, and neither members of the other team does.
Oh, that was so close. They almost got the craziest timing on the second plant, but instead, they're now in a beautiful post plant. One player on the other side, but spotted out. Now Youngto has a pretty good idea of the setup. They just need to isolate these duels. It's going to be hard because these angles are completely different. Oh, no.
Oh, that's going to be Youngto pushing through the smoke. They find one. Is the showstopper still there, though? Can they find the kill? It goes out and it misses. It just lands a little too short. They get the kill. That's going to be Young Toad. Can they get the defuse? It's going to be so close. But I think it's going to come in. The lead for Phantom Thieves is here.
That was close.
Oh my gosh, if you guys had reactions, you would see
Switching
all of
sides.
us just losing our minds. My head is in my hand at how they were able to throw that 2v1 advantage and the showstopper missing. That's game changing. This is the refs. This is an official. That was a game bug. I'm gonna need us to replay that round. Let's go back. Let's review it. I don't think that was intentional behavior. And oh, that's devastating. What a devastating loss. I'm not over it. I'm not gonna be over it. Instead, we're put into the place where Phantom Thieves are most comfortable, and with a full buy, that's where we've seen them have so much success. And they're gonna overwhelm Cypher again. I can already see it. It's in the cards.
The traps are set, though. Yeah.
Traps are set. They have that. They have a star to work with, as well as an Odin, I believe, on Cricket.
That they do. They throw out a little bit of util, though, pulling over several members, but not for very long. Frey seems to be wise to the fact that they could be rotating. We hear a lot of movement through mid. We do have one player still looking chamber. They find Fade. There's some exchange of gunfire, but Cricket's gonna find the kill. Quants are now holding on an angle too, very aggressively. They're likely gonna trade out if they're caught out there. They find Cinder. They're waiting for the right moment. Oh my gosh, the patience.
Spike down B.
Only gets one for it.
Only gets one though. Yeah, it's gonna be Trance finding two. It's a 2v2. Plant still hasn't gone down. Young Toad with just 33 HP. Sika right around the corner. They saw the tip of the muzzle of the gun, but I don't think they noticed.
30 seconds left.
Cinder almost caught out by a star. They know somebody could be in heaven. Sika backs up at the right moment, too. Cinder in a very, very vulnerable position at the moment. And now Spike starting to come through behind Cinder. Oh, nope, that was just Young Toad. 13 seconds left to go. They have to go for the
10
plant.
seconds left.
It's going to be able to get down.
Enemy remaining.
Now that Cinder finds one. Just one player remaining. It's Donut Keeper. He's been a hero before. Can he come in clutch right now? He's full health.
And Cinder with the ult online.
Joke's over. You're dead.
He's going to throw it out, see if he can find him. He's going to turn the corner, knows exactly where he is. Cinder has to be in heaven, says Donut Keeper. He's going to throw out the cage, try and keep him from being able to see, but Cinder's able to get there. Young Toad now peeking around the corner. He's going to go for the defuse, but the molly is in. He's forced off of it. That's going to expose the right side of him to log, and that's going to be the match. Phantom Thieves come back from a 9-3 curse to take it. What did we just see?
God, I never doubted them. Yep. We have it on record. I called a clean 2-0. That's what it's gonna be. Oh no, not like this.
What in the world? Let's can we look at the timeline for a second? Production, can we look at this timeline? Because I want to know when was it that we got to 12 rounds?
Switch.
It was on
here's the crazy thing.
round 18. Round 18.
Here's the crazy thing is that the phrase they were able to get the pistol and the follow-up after the pistol, but then the literal second that phrase had the rifles, they just went crazy with them, and they did not stop going once they had momentum. Oh, they're just insane. Cinder turned up so hot on that Phoenix, and oh my god, I guess Phoenix is buffed enough to look insane. They did it. They did it. They activated the 9-3 curse.
Yeah, that was absolutely insane. I've had the pleasure of casting a few 9-3 curses, but I don't think I've cast one quite like this, where they were on 12 points from round 18 on, right? From round 18 on, they had 6 chances to pull this back before it went in overtime.
8 consecutive rounds for the win. That's some heroics from Phantom Thieves, and proving why they were the runner-up at last time this tournament came around. That's why. That's it right there. Oh, it's insane.
Yeah.
I think we all get a breather from that.
I think I get a chance to step in now. That
Yeah.
Cinder it started off as a little spark at 9-3, just a little flicker inside Cinder's heart, the soul. The spark started and a blaze just incinerated FaZe, and it just kept getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And they finally reached overtime until it just overwhelmed FaZe in their attacking round, where they looked so dominant. Young Toad, man, out of nowhere! What a crazy triple kill! You were talking about looking at and seeing our reactions. I was watching all our cams at the same time while I was watching the game, and everyone is just awestruck at that play. I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
oh my god. Please, yes. Let's take a look at this. This had me going crazy. I mean, just the start of the game, we had the chance to see FaZe get really dominant. Like, they were getting kills, and I mean, there were so many players that just continuously showed their skill. Like Donut Keeper was playing very well. It was on top of the board, and then man, I'm never gonna say it right. Jiha. Yeah, Stika. Stika, that's it. Yeah. Stika felt very, very dominant on the defensive side as well. Even though they were losing a lot more games, I felt like I saw a lot of Stika just try to make opportunities. I mean, okay, you know what? Maybe yeah. Joe God, Easel, these are the last crazy highlights where we start seeing things turn around. I'll leave it to you guys to tell us what started happening here.
Here's what happened. Phantom Thieves are really good on attack. They got to attack, and they were really good. Their game plan of just being good at the game and getting all of the kills and not dying, they did it.
Yeah, they really did. They activated. I mean, you look at the attack, right, that FaZe team had. It was all about map control. It was all about outthinking their opponent, right? It was all about these big brain plays. But then, right, it became it was Phantom Thieves not giving them enough time to execute these plans, right? Not giving them enough time to think on their attacks. They started pushing it very aggressively, and I just don't think that there was any way that FaZe could handle it.
Yeah, FaZe just didn't have it in the tank. And when, like I was saying, when Donut Keeper couldn't be all over the map at the same time, they just weren't able to have the same impact. They weren't able to have the same lurks. And that's what was so surprising to me. That was such a big part of their first half. And then we don't see Donut Keeper explore the map at all in the second half. Like, sure, you're Cypher, but that's what was working for you in the first half. Just do that again.
Right. I mean, you are on defense, so you do have to, be conscientious about trying to hold down sight. But Cypher, you've got util, right? You've got util that can alert you to things.
Yeah, the util can stay on site while you go somewhere else. Exactly. And that's the biggest flub for me was I was so upset about this. I saw the quicksand going like, yeah, that's true. When they did the Viper Pit in mid and they had 3 people watching that, it just felt like they didn't have the cohesion. As the game started spiraling away, so did their teamwork. And so they're going to need to reel that back in a little bit for the second match, which is coming up here in just a few minutes.
Okay, well, while we're setting up for this second match, I think the biggest thing I wanted to talk about was the turnaround purely just because they were now on the attacking side? Was it because the Cypher wasn't rotating, wasn't making opportunities, turning around? What exactly was it that turned it around? Was it just Phantom Thieves being insane on attack, Joggle?
I think part of it was. I think part of it was Cinder just turning it on, right? Because like you said before, Easel, he was quiet, right, for the first quarter of the game or so, right? But then he started to kind of find his place, right? And we saw him top fragging. So I think it was that. I think it was Cinder activating, right? I think it was honestly, at first I was thinking it was Phantom Thieves figuring out Donut Keeper. But I think it was Donut Keeper actually just not doing his Donut Keeper thing, right? Like we said. So Donut Keeper kind of falling by the wayside as well. And then just the unraveling of the team cohesion.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back, right? Once they started to lose control, they allowed the momentum to overtake them. And you could see it. You could see it in the way they were playing. The mental just wasn't there.
Cinder on Phoenix can just provide so much more impact on the attack rounds to open up space for his teammates that they can play off of, rather than just being reactive to where they're being pushed. Like the agent is ridiculously good at spearheading attack and making spaces, almost like an initiator, but just a good duelist now.
Well, you guys literally covered every point I want to talk about in the brief, crazy discussion that we had post-game. So I don't think there's anything else we need to cover for now, besides the fact that both teams are significantly more impactful than we thought. At first, I was like, Frey, oh my god. Like, I was not expecting them to win so overwhelmingly. And then it was like, whoa, hold on, wait, they're not winning the game anymore. What's going on? It's really strong teams on both sides. I am so keen to see where this series goes. So I'm going to stay tuned, and you better stay tuned too, as we jump to a quick break and you don't miss our next game. So we'll see you all in just a second.
Phantom Thieves toggled. They're toggling. Check NPC. I swear they're toggling. Don't let them quiet me. I have the truth. Don't let them. Don't let them take me off mic. It's true.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Hey man, look, I'm a bit busy right now. I'm enjoying my cup of tea from my mug. It's a little bit too cool.
Who is this guy?
Look, I was saying earlier, man. Look,
they're really cool. That's all I know.
I had a Mr. Happy mug before this, but it broke, and I'm just devastated now. I haven't been happy since. Only cool. It's not worth the trade-off, guys. Not worth the trade-off. But you know what is worth the trade-off? Maybe not putting down my cup of tea so we can talk about the game coming up. Now, it's going to be, once again, it's the same thing. It's best of 3, so we're going to see these teams get a chance to play again. If Phantom Thieves can find their win for the second time, then they're going to sweep the series. But I think it's going to, if it is, it's going to be an incredibly close game. The way these ones have turned out so far, Phantom Thieves have been so good on their offense at just shutting out Frey. Look, I'm going to start with you, Easel. What did Frey lack in? And what do they need to not lack in or change to succeed in this next game?
Well, to be honest, they lacked in map control. Like I was saying, they didn't have Cypher doing it, but they also didn't have anyone else doing it. I pointed out during the broadcast, and I'll say the same thing again. They just never pushed out. They never knew where they were coming from, really. They weren't using utility to identify it. You know, like a lot of teams will run a Sova. Like they were throwing the fade, but it was getting shot right away. So it doesn't tell them much. But a lot of teams will run like a Sova and know like, oh, well, there's 3 people towards B or get that KO knife. And they just weren't doing that. And so if they can get a little bit more map control into this next map, then I think they have a chance. I honestly, it could go either way given it was 9-3 on both sides of the scoreboard. But given the momentum, I'm going to say this is headed in Phantom Thieves' direction.
I'm going to piggyback off that and agree with you. I think that actually we're going to see a very decisive victory here for Phantom Thieves. We're going to Haven. This is a map that we kind of anticipated they'd likely be going to. And I think all signs right now are pointing towards Phantom Thieves running away with this. Now, forgive me, but I don't remember. Do either of you have the information on which side, which team is going to be on this upcoming map?
I think we'll see in just a second as they are loading into Agent Select as we're talking.
Okay, so FFT is on attack again. So it's going to be an identical situation to what we just saw.
Before we're forced into Agent Select, I'll give my take real quick so we don't miss anything. Look, I think for Frey to win, they're going to have to send me a DM. I'm assuming Frey's a real dog. Send me a DM of the real dog photo. So I can see the dog. It's gonna be very cute, and then we can then you'll win. I think that's the win kind of right now. We'll show it on screen, get a bit of a dog buff, and good luck with that. First of all, and on that note, I will chuck it back to you guys to get into the Agent Select and get in the game.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a peek at what we have already. And ooh, a Cinder on the Neon. That actually terrifies me. First thing I saw, just got to call it out.
And it's not that they're going to be the only people getting the kills because they do have that chamber pick coming through once again. And on the other side, we do actually have a chamber coming through, so they're not going to go for the Cypher. Obviously, they didn't feel like they got enough out of it, even though they got so many kills on it. And so instead, we have a little bit of just a slight mirror comp, but not all the way through and through. We got our flashes, we got our smokes, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, exactly. This is interesting. I'm trying to really parse out what I think about both of these teams' compositions right now. One thing that I really like about Frey's that we didn't have before is we do have the Sova. In addition, we also have Breach, which is an absolutely indomitable force when pushing into a site. Now, Frey's didn't necessarily have trouble on attack, though, and that's where I see their team really excelling this time around as well. So I'm not seeing much in terms of how they're going to handle this on defense, if I'm being quite honest about it. They just got Chamber, really. From my point of view.
Well, they also have the Astra, and Astra's so good on this map because you can put your smokes on any side, no matter where the aggression comes from, or Conqueror can just shoot them.
Wow, yeah. Conqueror's gonna teleport away, but not before they get that crucial first pick. Saga gonna be able to flash back, though, getting a 3K on the Jet for Frey's team. Spike will be planted now, but Cinder is still alive and starting to push onto site. Equalizes in the kill feed as well, so things are maybe looking a little bit rough at the moment. Flash comes in. That's going to be Astra forced to back off just a little bit. Both players right now looking towards PT.
Yeah, pinched on site, not much that they can do.
We're anticipating too. This we actually lost our connection here in the casting booth, so we apologize. I hope that you out there can see it as in addition to us. So we're just gonna chat here for a second.
We're just gonna sit here in anticipation, waiting, hoping that this ends up going through and they're able to hold on to the site. Given the way that they were being pinched both from CT and from T, you know, both sides of the map, just I have my doubts. Discord's being kind of bad, so maybe we should consider some alternative methods. But alas, for now, the stream does come back up, and it looks like it went in the favor of the Phantom.
Yeah, Phantom Thieves. They did come away with it. So, gonna see a very aggressive push coming out from Cinder on the defense, but not surprising to say the least. Conquer finds one. That's gonna shut things down for FFT's team in a big way, because Suga got 3 kills last round. They were a crucial part of initiating and getting onto site.
That aggression from Neon is so important. Whenever he did that on the Phoenix, that was what provided so much impact to the round. Conquer getting another Marshall shot, lethal with it. And so the fact that they're doing that so early, it's gonna be crazy going into this map if we continue to see more of that. And they're just playing with fire at this point.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is a dangerous game that you are playing right now. Cinder gonna find one on the flank. Neon now starting to push out into spawn a little bit. So Zaya takes a couple of shots with the Marshall, doesn't find anything. It's going to be a shock dart coming out from Neon as well. Now it's going to be a 3v1 pushing up through spawn. Young Toad finds Zaya. Just going to be Donut Keeper left, but they don't last long.
Yeah, a bit of an aim labs test there, but unable to make those Marshall shots land on their end. Instead, it is the Phantom Thieves with the Marshall able to make it connect. And PT Conquer gonna hold on to that Marshall for a bit longer, going for a nice bonus into this next round and seeing if they can actually run away with the lead themselves for a little bit. We saw so much. FFT were so dominant on their initial half. This is a new thing. We haven't seen Phantom Thieves come out of the gates this strong, so if they can keep this up on their defense, oh, I'm afraid of their offense for the sake of FFT.
Yeah, exactly. This is looking a little bit rough right now, but FFT should have the gun advantage here. Cinder playing it a little bit safe at the moment. Sika holding that angle, seeing if Cinder gets impatient. But right now they're showing no signs of that, and they can hear the footsteps outside of A. Drone's gonna come in as well. They're gonna be forced to take it out and just run back as fast as they can, covering their tail with a wall and some splashes. Nobody holding down A main. And look at this, the spike is over here near garage. Sika now starting to push over. Yeah,
they haven't bitten the bait. Their baiting strategy hasn't worked because, well, Chamber's not hungry today except for the kills. Oh, but it's Jet who gets the opening pick.
Saga able to give a little bit of advantage now to FFT. Get the gun advantage as well. Saga going to be able to take out another one. That's 3. We've seen this Jet pop off before, but they're caught reloading. Can they get the kill in the end? They do. A 4K so far. It's just going to be a trance coming back. Zaya peeks around the corner and finds the final kill to give FFT a point.
There it is. The second they get those guns online, that's when they start looking, well, they have something to show. And I hesitated for a second there because I wasn't used to saying Saga's name. I don't think they really... where is a star player in the previous map? We just talked so much about Sika and Donut Keeper that Saga hasn't shown up. So if Saga can keep this going more than just one round against a bonus, that could be the difference maker for them.
Yeah, it certainly could, and they've been showing up in a huge way already. So Sika not fighting anybody in garage, but try to pull a little bit of aggression over that way. Cinder going to be taken down as well. That is a big blow to the Phantom Thieves. Young Toad continuing to hold down mid. They got Saga right around the corner. They peek out. Saga finds them as well. B is wide open. Saga gonna start to push through as well, but gets taken out, sprayed through the smokes by Conquer.
If they do actually end up going on to site, just kidding. It's Nismo hiding in a corner.
Oh, but Quanzler's coming up on them now, and they've got the Alcrone pushing through as well, so they're in a pretty tough position. They find one. They are traded out, though. Now it's just going to be Sova left for Frey's. Or Donut Keeper, rather. Flash going to hit them as well. They're going to try and back off, keep their head on their shoulders. Conquer sees them. They know that they're there. Dart's not going to give away anyone's position. And Trance right behind the corner. Donut Keeper very confident that they're going to be around there. Flash goes through, but it's going to expire. PT and Trance flicks around the corner, but Donut Keeper comes in big to tie the game at 2 apiece.
Huge props to Donut Keeper. Wow, I feel like they might have been listening to our broadcast. I was saying they with the Cypher pick, they weren't able to get that widespread map control, and they never really knew where people were holding. If only they had a Sova that could scan people and really get that information from distance. Look at this. It's Donut Keeper on the Sova and closing out that round. It's not just Saga. And speaking of Saga, I was talking about I didn't remember seeing them in the last map. That's because we didn't. This is a sub from their team. And so they're subbing in other players, hoping to see if they can find the inch against Phantom Thieves that they were unable to get, because it was an inch in that previous match that made the difference.
Yeah, it really, really was. And right now, they're holding their own very, very well against them. Conquer. Continuing to just hold down main. Smoke has expired. Nobody pushing up just yet. They're playing a very, very patient waiting game. And Donut Keeper getting ready to throw out this dart. Looks like he's got a nice lineup ready for us. They're just, at this point, they're just running down the clock.
Yeah, they're making them second guess themselves so that way they're not running into a 5-person stack. A little bit of a bait play happening with Jet over on A, but Chamber still has the op posted up. So, it's going to be a duel once they finally decide to initiate. And they've actually read into this, even though there's been no contact as of yet.
Saga. Oh, look at this. Saga gets the pick. And now we've got Neon starting to push over. The push is coming down C long, though. And Donut Keeper takes out Conquer. That's going to open things wide up for them. They're caught, though, with their knife out instead of a gun. Take a little bit of damage, but Zozea is there to clean up afterwards. Quads are going to push through and get the plant off with impunity, and it's just Young Toad left.
It was just perfect timing on a lot of those peaks. Not all of them, but enough of them for it to work brilliantly. Great Sova drone. Once again, Sova being more valuable than Cypher would be in this scenario. Not saying they're comparable because they're completely different agents, but on attack, a good, valuable asset, and securing them another round on the board. That was against a bit of a weaker buy, I believe, but it still counts, and they're still going to run with it. Sika unable to get a kill yet on the map, but they do still have the op online, so they're just waiting for someone to walk into their crosshair. I do believe we're going to see a bit of jet knives coming out from Saga with a no buy coming through and the ult online. So let's see if they are able to make those connect, or if we're going to see, well, sometimes those knives just go a little bit wide.
Yeah, exactly. Saga, though, I'm anticipating these knives will connect. They have been on fire so far, but they're not going to connect when they can't pull them out. Gonna have to push around, but Donut Keeper had an opportunity to take him out. Cinder was there, though, instead. Donut Keeper down to just a couple HP, and oh, look at this. We're gonna get the Rolling Thunder coming through as well onto C-side. It's gonna catch out Conquer, who TPs away at the last possible moment, but that does give a great amount of space and sight control over to Frey's.
And there's no one able to contest because there's just smokes blocking them from re-entry. Conquer with just a sliver of Donut Keeper's head is able to make it land. And now this is when they can start pushing their way back in. Oh, Zosa just has the better swing.
Oh, it is going to be Young Toad coming up big in the end with a pick on the Quanzler to give the round and a tie game.
Desperately searching for that operator too to try and keep it in their hands. Because that's such a valuable way to lock down really any part of this site. You can post it up on C long, A long, maybe A short. You can get a nice B post, especially if you have chamber. You can opt from the top side of B. That's a crazy angle to try and clear. I hate doing that. But keeping that in their hands is going to definitely enable Conqueror. We've seen they're turning online in this match, and well, they're not fragging above Saga quite, but keeping them at bay for the time being.
Yeah, they really, really are. And that might just be all that you need to do. A lot of util expended right off the bat. That's gonna be the laser fingers coming out from Cinder as well, but Quansler finds their mark instead. Gonna be a 4v4.
Keep in mind, we're playing on the newer patch where she was kind of buffed, but kind of nerfed. So if you hit a headshot with their Palpatine fingers, it will actually do more damage, but that body shot does less than she's used to. So the Neon not able to be used quite in the same way when that ult is popped. However, look at the map. Look at where Jet's holding. They've gotten free access to the backside of B site.
Oh my gosh,
you're
right.
I don't think they know.
No, I don't think they have any clue. Young Toad gonna take Quansler out, but Saga. What are they?
Not like this.
What are they waiting for? There it is. There it is. They're able to find Entranced as well. Zazea gonna go for the plant. Saga now on top, almost catches out Nismo, but they're able to duck for cover right at the last moment. Conquer barely missing. Someone jumping off the top of that as well. Saga pushing out through the smokes. Finds Conquer. Fiddling with his gizmos and gadgets.
Nismo does bring them to a 1v2, which is an advantageous situation considering how there was such a wedge shoved into B site. Wow. Right into the crosshair. Seacog finally able to make that op count and get a little bit farther onto the board than they were before. That patience that we saw from Saga, I didn't mention it before, but that could be what they were missing. We haven't seen a lot of those plays. Obviously, it's unconventional to wait that long, but just the intelligence to think and wait and see if you can get that additional impact. That's a good move. And Saga being Diamond 1 is one of their higher fraggers, so I'm happy to see not only do they have bronze, they have the brains to back it up, putting them on the lead once again.
Knife thrown out, flash as well, gonna slow down this push down A, but only briefly. They've just about secured main. Sika finding Cinder again. That's gonna be a golden opportunity for them to start pushing in now. Starting to collapse over towards B and A. Jet forced to dash out as they catch a glimpse of Young Toad. Astro Star there to give him a little opportunity to escape.
Yeah, haven't committed to anywhere yet, though. It looked like the spike was going to rotate right back into their hands at C, but instead, they're slow walking it up A. The only indication is that drone sound, if they even caught wind of it. And it is Jet on C site trying to bait for contact, but the contact's already coming through on either side, so there's not much to pull because KO rotates over.
It is going to be just 2 players, though, on A. One being held down on C. Conquer finds Saga. Zazea, though, strikes back. Donut Keeper finding one as well. The spike will be planted. And now it's going to be a long rotation from either side of the map for these defenders.
This is a good pinch, though. However, Chambers' weapon, I take it back. They're lethal with the Marshal.
Wow.
Unable to beat the op. I eat my words. Just Nismo with the Vandal stuck trying to make something happen.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty tough for them. Drone thrown out as well. Donut Keeper finds the pick and extends the lead to 2.
This is nice that they're able to punch back. It felt like once one team started getting momentum on the previous game that it was just game over. And so for a second, we were like, okay, Phantom Thieves might be able to take this half. But no, instead it's Frey once again looking good on their attack half. I guess these are both just attack-sided teams, or at least with the way that they've been playing their compositions. And coming into this round, it is a full buy across the board, so we're going to see how these teams are really matching up to each other as we're getting a little bit deeper into the thick of it, and maybe into the thick of Chambers' crosshair on C-Long. Not with that smoke there.
Spots are going to give a little bit of cover as they try to rotate. Cinder peeks out. They take a couple of shots. They know they're there. Cinder now dashing away very, very quickly. Oh, they're going to get caught out, though. Young Toad finds Saga. Sika waiting patiently. They find Cinder, but they had just pulled away from their scope, and Cinder is able to take advantage of that. Don't keep pushing in now.
Spawn.
Oh, they catch a glimpse. They're going to be stunned. Cinder able to take Zazea out. And now Frey are getting picked apart. Cinder finds one more. They come up behind Donut to take him out.
you know, if Cinder can get a 4K, that pretty much guarantees them the round. This is a pattern that we've seen happening. And, well, I guess if anyone gets a 4K, that would guarantee the round. Just a really good round. And once again, it's that aggression which wins them the round. When they played this offensive defense, since both of these are such offensive teams, it's only when they're able to translate that to their defensive side that we're able to see these rounds be converted. And Cinder getting 4 kills on the round, more than doubling their kills, turning up there when maybe they were shut down in the past.
Absolutely. Donut Keeper did use the Hunter's Fury last time, so what was 5 ultimates online for Frey's team is now reduced to 4. Saga taking out the knives again, and what? They're just sprayed through the smoke. That's a feels bad, Saga. That is a feels bad.
Great game sense by Nismo to know that they're going to be creeping up through that, and although they might still be in a little bit of a tough space, they've certainly slowed down their momentum on this C-long hit.
They absolutely have. And here comes Zozea with the Rolling Thunder once again. That's going to make this very difficult for them. It's going to be Neon putting up a wall to see if they can help their teammates escape. But Nismo's still caught in a very bad position. Cinder darting around. They're down to just 10 health, seeing if they can make something happen. But Nismo does eventually go down, but not before they take out Quanzer. It's going to be Zozea combining for 2. They have the spike. They have the ability to plant it, but Zozea down to just a sliver of health.
A 2v4 retake, 2v3. So many people just dinked just a little. Not able to find the timing on Zoza though, and Conqueror just gets cleaned up by Sika. A good take, and good on them to still be able to follow through on the take, even when they lost their entry that they were planning on working off of. And Saga did get shut down, but that's great to see that they have other people to follow it up, if not them.
Yeah, it really, really is. And something, too, that I think we should mention, a couple of points that I want to make. First off, Frey's team, they've at least secured themselves a tied first half, right? However, on the other side, Phantom Thieves have secured themselves at least a 1 round better first half than they did last time. So... things, yeah, you know, there's things to look at from both sides, I think, for a silver lining, as it were. But right now, there's no silver lining for Phoenix or Phantom Thieves when Cinder goes down. They're going to push onto A side very, very hard. Zozea making their way up. That's going to be another pick in favor of them. It's a 5v2 round now. They throw out the Cosmic Divide as well. This round is almost but secured completely for Frey's.
Great shock darts, very nearly landing their target sitting on the other side of the wall. And now 2v5. A couple of them may be at low HP, but that's so many angles to clear. The scout clears 1, but then you lose all your information because the aftershock comes through anyways.
Oh yeah, it's just a bevy of utility coming out from that breach, and there's nothing they can do. Frey's have now secured themselves the lead in the first half.
Last round in the half.
Saga missed the dash, but it just it just ended up distracting them enough that they got started, scanned up, and well, that's cleaned up. And like you said, the lead for the half, we're seeing both of these teams turn it up on the second map. I'm so happy to see that Frey's weren't demolished by totally letting the last map spiral out of control. So you can only hope that won't be the case again, because like you mentioned, Phantom Thieves do have just an inch more than they had last time, and that was all they needed. They only needed the 9-3 curse, so a 4-8 half, that might be more than enough to work with just at that, this being the last round in the half.
Especially considering that Phantom Thieves is such an attacker-sided team, and we're on an attacker-sided map, one of the few in the game as well. So, you know, it's anticipated that all things equal, the attacking team is going to come away with a slight advantage. Quanzer throws out a molly to see if they can prevent the plant, but they just barely miss. It's going to be a Cosmic Divide coming out as well as Cinder launches the laser fingers. Gonna push out onto site now, but is stopped in their tracks by Sika. Sika trying to continue to hold down CT and does just that. That is an 8-4 half for Frey's.
Man, these teams are good at attack.
Yeah.
But the difference is they might have been even disproportionately better at attack because Sova being able to add so much more to their attacking half than they could on the defense. And now this is where I want to see if my theory can hold up. Is that Sova going to make a difference in just knowing what's coming at you? Sure, Sova can't lock down the site as much, but it really felt like they just didn't have a grasp on what was happening last time. So I have an idea that that might be a bit of a difference maker coming into this one. However, on the other side, that Neon is going to be going all over and faster than you can get your gun out if you get caught with your utility. So they're definitely going to have to watch out for that.
They really, really are. And, you know, one advantage though, that I do think FFT has in this is Saga finds 2 picks right off the back, including Cinder. They took a page out of Phantom Thieves' book, and they have gone aggro on the attack, and it has paid dividends.
I'm so sorry. I was so shocked. I couldn't control my reactions. Just 2 beautiful shots from Jet to open it up. Such an impactful agent, and bringing her into this map. They've just shut down this attack before it could even start. Conqueror on their lonesome.
Wow. All right, FFT. We see you. That was a beautiful pistol round. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. Phantom Thieves, they never had an opportunity to even try anything.
Yeah, FFT played their defensive half so passively last game that I don't think Phantom Thieves even had that in the cards to happen this one. If they can keep that kind of pressure and, well, keep Phantom Thieves the one on their toes, then I can see this spiraling in their favor. But keep in mind here, they were able to get both pistols, the pistol and the bonus, when they went over to their defensive half last time. So just because they get this next one against weaker guns doesn't mean they're going to be able to run away with it.
No, it absolutely doesn't. Anything can happen in this, and right now, especially considering they have Saga in as well, things could look a lot different. And Trant's gonna try and let them enter on the site. It's gonna be led by Cinder, who is starting to take site control already. But Sika and Saga are everybody combining for a flurry of kills. They're on site, but that is where they stop.
Wait. What just happened?
Right?
Once they got onto site, there was just a gun diff, and they played into that. They shot everybody. Really good shots, and I love the way that Saga just played inside their smoke that entire time. Not a shot. You were gonna find them until, well, you found their barrel against your head. And now here's the full buy. Here's where Phantom Thieves turned it up on the last map. We thought they were out of it. We thought that FFT were gonna run away with it. That's where they proved us wrong. Can they do it again? Or can FFT finally close it out?
Right now they're looking very strong, but this round is going to have an advantage for Phantom Thieves. Cinder gets a very fast plant. In the meantime, Trance finds Zozea as well. Donut Keeper looking through the smoke, might be forced to back out. No, instead they're gonna send the Owl drone out instead. It's gonna be blinded, and Trance just watches it go by. In the meantime, Young Toad finds Quadsler peeking. It's gonna be a 2v2 now. Just 1 player remaining. It's gonna be Sika and Tranched finding Saga main. They fake the defuse. It's gonna be Entranced for the clutch. And is this the beginning? Is it the beginning here?
Oh no. Oh no, Dark God. That's the narrative. We've hit the narrative. We're in the thread. This is where they turn it around, and their econ might be weak, but that's where they started spiraling the rounds somewhere, somehow. This map, I want to say, is kind of similar to Pearl in the way that you can get so spread on it and just lost in the sauce in mid, or in this case in B. And so, oh, it's a very real possibility, but look at their buy. I don't think that's setting them up for it, but I think it would be amazing if I had to bite my words right now.
It certainly would be. Donut Keeper forced to back off a main. Cinder peeking out, but Donut Keeper is better with the shots this time around. Young Toad, though, gonna start to equalize things back towards mid.
They're still going towards A with 2 players there that haven't rotated at all. They have pretty good map control this time, and Donut Keeper's able to shut it down right away.
Yeah, they are, and now got the Astra smoke out as well. That's going to slow things down again. Nismo pulling back their stars, considering maybe a rotation, but no, they're starting to push through the smoke now. Can they find Donut Keeper? They do! It's gonna be Zozea now throwing out a little bit of util, but they're caught reloading. Nismo is. And now Zozea just has one more to take care of. They're gonna be caught. Zozea's gonna peek around the corner, finds them with their ears ringing, and clicks their head.
The difference finally coming through. That this didn't happen last game. That's where they started losing it. And you can see it on the side of Phantom Thieves. They're like, wait, guys, we're off script. Guys, we came in here with a plan. We talked to production. We told them what the narrative was. What are we doing? We messed it up. Can we roll that back? Well, actually, going forward, they're going to have to find some other answer, because it seems to be the answer that Freyfrays has is Saga turning up. Saga is a main on their roster. I want to specify that they weren't in the original match, but not because they're a random sub that they brought in like their clutch card. They just weren't able to make that first match, or they didn't play in the first one on Pearl. And so coming into this, it's not some secret cheat card. This is just what they normally look like, and probably what they looked like when they won last week 2-0.
Yeah, it certainly could be. It's Cricket who is actually out from the main roster today on Frey's side. So we've had Zozea playing in both games so far, but Saga coming in, like you said, to swap in. So now that the timeout has expired, let's see if this pep talk, let's see if this planning that Phantom Thieves just was able to execute has a difference now, if it's going to make things turn around for them. They have the null command.
Yeah, they have an ult on the board, but on the other side there is the jet knives, which are most likely going to be popped. Yep, there the jet knives come, and so it's null command v jet knives. We've seen this get shut down before, and it's Sika with the opening pick, the chamber diff, to shut down this aggression, coming out of the timeout and losing the first blood. That's not gonna feel good.
No, it is not. Big rotation coming in through A, but look at this Donut Keeper pushing out through sewers. They are going to be suppressed, though, and detected. Somewhere nearby it's going to be Astro who peeks. Nismo taken out, though. It's a 3v5 right now, and we could be at a 12 point. We could be at match point momentarily. Spike is down, just 2 players remaining, and that is going to put us once again on match point.
I feel like we're watching a different team. It felt like as that second half of Pearl progressed, Freyfrays just like didn't know how to play together. Like they kind of lost their script. Like they just lost what worked for them, you know. This time they're able to play into that more, and it really feels like Saga's making a big difference. But it's not just Saga. Look at Zaza. Zozea? Zaza with 16-6 on the scoreboard. Siki 15-6. They all have really good KDs. They're all contributing in different ways. And while they're all locking down map as the aggression comes up B and fast.
That it does. It's going to be Cinder planting almost immediately again. Zozea tries to force to back off because of the Seekers as well. Donut Keeper to throw out the drone, see if they can find some information before they start moving in. We do have the Rolling Thunder come out as well, causing a lot of problems. So Zaya now starting to push in. They find Entrance through the wall. 4v4. Young Toad trying to see if they can keep him at bay, but they can't. Saga's able to take him down with a wall bang. Once again, Conquer sitting on Spike with a shorty. That's going to be Cinder, I'm sorry, there with a shorty, and that will be a round.
The judge keeps them in the game.
Yeah.
Bringing them, keeping them. Oh no, I'm getting flashbacks again. The memories are too strong. Frey just being stuck, just hung up at 12 points on the board. You think, oh, this is the round they take it.
This is round 18. The exact round.
No, not like this. My head is in my hands. Not like this. The Cinder's gonna hold on to that judge and wreak some more havoc with it as, oh, they're opening the script back up and they're reading straight off of it.
That they are. Now, I miscalled last time. I thought I heard a Rolling Thunder come out, but they're actually going to have it this time for this defense. That could be absolutely huge in a retake situation. Conquer, though, going to set themselves up pretty well. It's going to be a trade, though. Got a 4v4. The attackers have control of A site now. Plant will come in, and here comes the rolling thunder. We're gonna see the push in now from FFT. This is when they want to take it. They want to take it right here. They've got 2, 3, 4 kills. That's it. That's gonna be FFT evening the series at 1 apiece on Haven.
Oh, so intelligently done. What a quick retake too. We saw 3 of them watching towards B. They knew there'd be someone on the flank and they just counterplayed it perfectly. Oh, welcome back to the cameras, and I feel like FFT finally FFT.
Quick saying you're muted if you.
Yeah. Look. Okay. So.
Okay, I might cut out.
Where did they come from?
My unregistered trial expired. I'm back.
I was wondering what happened because all of a sudden I heard double too. I was very confused.
Anyway, we're back.
Yeah. FFT finally gave us what they baited us for. We finally got the payoff for what they set up in the first map. They just did the same thing on the second map, but better. And their missing puzzle piece was Saga and that aggression. They just weren't able to shut it down. Or I mean, I should say Phantom Thief wasn't able to shut it down. And so they're able to get that map and take it to map number 3, baby.
So yeah, again, as I was saying, who is Saga? I'm playing on that jet. Where did they come from? Am I missing something? I did unfortunately wasn't able to watch most of the stream as we were having network issues. But please give me like a breakdown, Juggle God, of what happened in that game, because it was looking kind of close at the start again. Well, it was kind of the opposite. It was kind of start. Then they just managed to FFT just took the lead out. What happened?
Well, I think FFT just played their defense much more aggressively. I think at the end, that's pretty much what it comes down to, right? And we saw them take Phantom Thieves by surprise in that very first round after the side swap, coming away with that pistol round win in very, very quick fashion. I mean, Phantom Thieves barely even got out of spawn, right? So what I think we saw is Saga coming back in, one of their mainstays, one of their main players, showing up in a huge way and maybe providing a grounding presence for the team as well, because I just have to imagine, and maybe it wasn't, I said their mental had to have been shot after that last game, but look at how hard they came back. This was tremendous.
Yeah, and you're asking who is Saga? Saga's Diamond 1, so yeah. A formidable opponent, given that our highest ranks in this are like Diamond 1 to 3, and so having that sort of firepower come in, and like I was saying, Saga's on the main roster, not a secret trump card that they played out. Saga just wasn't in the first match, and so they were able to kind of sub in for the sub and play their usual spot, and it looked like that must have been the missing puzzle piece, because that first matchup, I kept being like, this isn't teamwork. What are they doing? This doesn't look coordinated. I was like, why are they here? Why are they here? And that time, it just all clicked. They were all in the right places, all at the right times, and all contributing in the right ways.
And to see them finally, bro, I can't, as you were saying, Juggle, I can't imagine what it would feel like after that last game. I would have gotten up from my monitor. I'd be like, I'd be fuming, man. I'd be like bouncing up in my chair. I'd be boomed. I'd be done. I'm done. I need to go see the psychologist after that game. Like it was bad. And the fact that they could hold it together inside their heads, unbelievable. That is a true trial of mental that they just passed through there. I don't know what they're doing back there. Maybe they get to pat FFT in the back, and I feel like that would reset my mental. But fantastic, really, really well covered. And do you think we're going to give that Jet the MVP for today, Easel? Do you think they brought away that game?
Well, they brought away that game and give them the MVP for that game, but we still got one more to go to see if they can keep it up.
That's right, we do have one more to go, so we won't hold it much longer. Let's go get a quick glass of water. I need to refill my cup of tea, and you need to go get yourself a cup of tea if you don't have one already. So go do that now, and we'll see you guys in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. What's up? What's up? I missed you, by the way. I missed you over there and you over there. And I'm looking at you. I missed you too. I missed Easel. I missed Juggood. Even though we're talking the whole time, I still missed. But it's good to be back. What's up? Okay, so we were busy talking about the new Blackpink album drop, but so first of all, extremely excited for that. I don't know when it comes out. Easel, I'm sure the documentary is great though.
Yeah, it's been out for 2 years, so it's not really new news. I think we can go ahead and go on to this third Valorant match. All
right, yes, we got a third Valorant match to get to. No more Blackpink. So, if you missed it somehow, Phantom Thieves, they came in the first game, and look. I thought they were going to... I thought at the start, all of us did, that they were a very strong team, and they were looking like they were going to have an upper hand in the first game. They, in fact, did not have an upper hand in the first game. They struggled a lot to find their footing, and they were down a very significant margin. I think it was 3-9. That's the curse we were talking about. And then we saw the round 10 come in, and things just started turning around. And they came back, they completely swept their game. They won one, and they managed to lose the second one. So the score now is 1-1 to both sides as we walk into our final map here on Icebox. Now, Easel, take us again real quick. We've seen a couple different maps, but how does Icebox run out? And based on how the teams have been performing, which map do you think is going to be... Which team is going to perform better on this map?
Well... That's kind of a loaded question, but while in the previous introduction into the previous map, I was like, oh, well, Phantom Thieves are still on a good poised point. Free taking that map, I think they're going to run with it because they told us they like Pearl, they like Icebox, and they like Ascent. And then we've already seen Pearl, and we saw Haven, but now Icebox, that's the other map that they like, and they had such a good defensive showing. Sure, they might not have offense once again, or vice versa. You know, they're both only good at one side. But this is a map that they're comfortable on, and when they're comfortable and they're able to play as a team, that's when we've seen they can do the most.
Yeah, it really is. And... you know, I think Icebox plays into their strengths as well, because we're likely going to see the Viper come back out, right? Viper is such a mainstay of this match, or of this map, that it almost feels like a throw if you don't pick her. So I'm anticipating seeing Frey's team coming out with a very meta look here. You know, the chamber, I'm sorry, the Viper Sage, you know, at the very minimum.
The Viper Sage, the deadly combo, man. I just seeing a Viper Sage skeleton every time. The control is insane, man.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
The environmental control is ridiculous. It actually is a new map when you bring in Viper and Sage. And let's see if it will be a new map or not, and how much these maps will get modified if they can melt the ice on Icebox by playing too much Phoenix. I don't know. Well, let's find out. Let's jump into the Agent Select.
And once again, right off the bat, we're seeing Saga go for that jet pick. They look so comfortable on that, so I'm so happy to see that coming out once again. On the other hand, on the other hand, Cinder with the Reyna pick, that concerns me. Reyna is a ranked kind of character in my opinion, and even Phoenix I think could provide more team impact with the wall, flashing for each other, and Reyna can really, all she has to give to the team is a flash. And maybe making a little bit of space. So that's the most worrying thing that I'm seeing in this Agent Select right now.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, but a counterpoint to that, though, that I would like to mention is that it's Cinder. Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, 100%. That's the point. That's the point I was going to make. This is Cinder. And if you want to elevate your carry, then you do put them on Reyna. Yeah,
Cinder did get, what, like 28 kills on that first map?
Yeah.
So, given they did that on Phoenix, I would expect something very similar to come out on Reyna. The only thing I worry about is just being able to show up on defense, like in a similar way. Phoenix can't really do a whole lot on defense. Neither can Reyna. She can flash and she can get kills. So they're gonna have to play this aggressively, which is one of the strengths that we talked about. But they're gonna have to play this aggressively if they want to take advantage of that. So we're gonna see a lot of really fast-paced action coming up right here shortly.
Yeah, this is gonna be very interesting. The only difference between these two squads is in the duelist, right? It's the Jet versus the Reyna, and you know I like the Jet pick more. It just makes a lot more sense. You've got the Jet and the Chamber as well, so you know you can hold down mid, you can hold down A, you can hold down wherever you want, right? You're just gonna make it almost impossible on entry.
Jet and Reyna both, I think Jet's better, but when I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, basically the main difference between them is Jet can smoke and Reyna can flash. And flashes are good for your team's play, so they both have, they're both bringing similar amounts of stuff. Jet is just so much more meta, and with her dashes away, she doesn't have to get a kill to remain impactful. Versus if Cinder can't show up, if Saga's able to shut them down, that's it. So I think if between just the two of them, Jet, I would favor to come out on top. But let's see how these Angels end up going out, because it is starting up right now. Phantom Thieves barreling into A site.
Oh yeah, they are making no bones about it. They are not holding back. They are just going in and going for it. Nismo going to lay down a wall to cut off Heaven from being able to see what's going on. We've got Entrance looking to push through. It's going to be Seacock, though, finding the first kill. Spike does go down, but they're still in a good position to plant. At least they were until Donut Keeper had something to say about it. Saga finds another, and now it's a 5v2 as they continue to try and push on site, but there's nothing they can do. And oh wow, Frey's looks scary.
That's their second pistol flawless of this matchup. They did the exact same thing on Haven, and they come out swinging this time. The interesting thing, though, it wasn't their aggression that led to the flawless. They just shut them down at every turn. Donut Keeper getting that opening blood, and I like to point out, keeping that Sova pick over the Cypher. I like it. I really do. And Sova is so good on this map because there's so many walls, especially on A site, that you can place that dart on, bounce it off of, and combined with however other they're getting picks, there's a lot to be contributed there.
Yeah, there really is, and it's you know, I only mentioned the Viper and the Sage, but honestly the Sova I think you have to mention there too as just an essential. We're gonna see Sova just reveal the location to almost every single attacking member. In the meantime though, Jose on the defense has found one. They see the rotation coming through and they get caught trying to back up and get out of the way as the rotation does come through on the B.
I think a little bit too timid on that pull out of mid. They could have definitely held that down. They had the weapons advantage, even if their location was known. And so instead, things do get evened out. It's a 4v4. They have the Viper's wall down, so they just might get this plant down for free with the Sage wall adding additional. This is what you're saying, that deadly combo, that Viper Sage, it can do so much. And Cinder with just the Sheriff doing so much themselves, only to get shut down by Donut Keeper after doing so much damage.
Sika over towards Snowman, starting to push out, seeing if they can find a little bit of information on where they are. Entranced has been spotted out. Donut Keeper peeks around the corner, finds them, swings to find Ismo as well. They're gonna go for the defuse. Young Toad is taken out, and the defense pops off. That is a beautiful round again for Frey's.
Donut Keeper with a beautiful 4K to lock in this second round. One thing I want to loop back towards, when we were talking about these team stats, I did mention I feel like these could be a little bit skewed given their records, given that Frey went 1-2 and Phantom Thieves went 2-1. And I think we might be seeing that a little bit. It's not that there's a huge difference. It's not that everyone on Frey's has been negative every game. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Donut Keeper at 6-0 on the KD right now. So I think their stats might have just been a little bit skewed in to get this one, misleading us a little bit, like I'm pretty sure Quicksand mentioned. And now looking to get a third one on the board. It's all up to Viper on the B site.
Yeah, so Jose is going to prevent them from pushing out, at least on the main way. They're going to have to go around to yellow. It's going to have time for the defense to rotate around. Sage wall does go down, though, so they're going to be able to plant with impunity. Jose trying to break through that wall, but just not quite able to. They pick out Conquer in mid. The Molly going to prevent them from chasing them around mid and hopefully seeing if they can bait them to go up tunnel. Cinder now holding patiently, waiting around that wall. It's gonna be Saga though, and Zozea combining for a pair of kills in the defense once again, even though they are at a gun disadvantage, coming out on top right now. This is Frey's just playing phenomenal Valorant right now. Sagamance with another pick. Quansler does go down, and Tranced finding something though. It's just gonna be left to Sage, who does get one. Can they find the other kills? Not quite. They go for the defuse, but it won't be in time, and that will be a round for the Phantom.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they weren't able to convert that bonus round, but they did a heck of a lot of damage, and it was only thanks to Entranced getting a 4K. It was only thanks to Entranced getting a 4K there that they're able to get that round at all. So now coming into this, there's a full buy on the side of... Who is that? That's Frey Frey. Yeah, that's Frey Frey. There's a full buy on the side of Frey Frey. So they lost that round, but their economy's sure looking good after it.
Revealing area.
Yeah, it really is. Of course, not too unexpected. Sika finding a kill right off the bat. Saga combines for another. That's going to cripple this attack at the knees as they continue to try and push in A. Flirting with disaster as Sika continues to hold down this ankle. Kwanzaa rotating out through mid. Saga finds another one. We're going to see the res come in as well.
Spike down A. Last player
Oh my
standing.
gosh. So close. Saga now found Cinder. Just one player remaining, and that is a flawless round for Frey Frey.
They're using those guns, not only to use them, but applying the aggression that was so good for them. Now, Donut Keeper 8 and 1 on the board. Saga 7 and 2. That's going to solidify their economy. Look at that. Even with a full buy, Zaza has 5,600 credits. They're bankrolling right now, and getting another one on the board that could really set them up to have a solid hold on this half. Conqueror unable to show up at all. So is Nismo and Young Toad. No kills. They haven't found anything. 4 rounds in.
Yeah.
It's only thanks to a couple hero plays that they even have one on the board.
It's true, it really is. And Sika finds Cinder again. This Reyna pick so far not doing, I think, what they'd hoped it would. Cinder just hasn't been able to find purchase anywhere. They keep getting picked off very early in these fights.
That Reyna utility just not proving great for these long range battles, because being honest, the Leer doesn't even reach that far.
Right. No, you're exactly right. It's a very short range ability. And Trance, though, going to be able to turn things around in the blink of an eye, giving a bit of an advantage now to Pan of Thieves. Spike will be planted, but this is the retake. This is where Frey Frey does excel. So Sika trying to get a better position. Entranced holding, making sure nobody peeks out heaven.
Look at them waiting for the flank to come through, providing them so much information on where they're holding.
No, you're absolutely right. But Jet is coming around main right now. They're going to be able to catch out Viper in just a second. What a flurry of kills coming in from Frey Frey. They've completely turned the table on this one. That's going to be the kills they need. They get the defuse in the nick of time as well. What a round. Frey Frey, they're firing on all cylinders.
Look at that patience, not swinging one by one and giving them duels, but instead doing it all at once. And you can tell that just in the kill feed alone. The fact that they're getting those all at once means they're taking them together and playing off of each other. They waited for Saga to go all the way around and be like, okay, they're not holding here, 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 here. Well, I guess they're holding these typical angles on site. So they just cleared those. Giving them another one on the board, and now, oh, look at the economy difference just because of that. There's a bit of a heavier buy coming into this, but it's just crippled for Phantom Thieves.
It really is, and even if they take a round here, there's still going to be a full buy coming out for Frey Frey. They're going to have to win a few in a row at least an even, with at least an even footing before they're able to do anything significant with the economy. But Saga Mans finds 2 and dashes away to safety. They go down to about half health. Nismo forced to drop back as Amali comes in as well, preventing them from pushing and allowing the rotation to come in once again. It's going to be another kill from Zozea onto Conquer. 5v2. Cinder does find Donut Keeper, so that's a pretty big duel that has just been won. But Nismo opting to back out instead, starting to think about this rotation over towards A site.
Very deep control by Cinder up in the middle of tube. Not going to do too much for it though, other than just scare them to not know where they're going. It looks like they are going to be rotating over towards A, but there's someone waiting there as well. Chambers just waiting, playing off contact, playing very passively because they've lost the information game even if they have map control.
Oh yeah, look at this. Saga's coming up as well. But Cinder's able to sneak through before either of them notice. They've got control over the site. They're gonna get the plant down, and there's no way they're gonna be able to prevent it. Oh, Saga Mines finds Cinder. It's just gonna be one player left. Sika's starting to push out onto site. Now they've got them in their crosshairs. That's another round for Frey.
I want to loop back to, I was talking about the differences between the Jett and Reyna pick. They're both great agents, don't get me wrong, but another reason that Jett is so valuable, especially on this map, is the verticality. Reyna does not have that vertical element. However, Jett can get up on any box that she pleases. You saw that upwards point on B long is what netted 2 kills to open up the round and destroy any chance of a thrifty coming through. Reyna just can't do that. All she has is the dismiss and the flash. So that's another reason why we'd commend that Jett pick, but I just wanted to touch back in on that. As we go into a full gun round, look at that, full Vandals on the side of the board. This isn't Phantom territory, this is Vandal territory.
It absolutely is. And this territory on A going to be pushed on by Phantom Thieves. Cinder does find Saga. That's a big pick in favor of them. We do hear the ult popped as well. Empress is online. Oh, but Donut Keeper with a beautiful flank finds 2. They're gonna send out the shock dart as well, trying to stop them, but Nismo is able to get the counter pick. Sika finds Nismo as they try to use that grappling hook to get over, but no way they're gonna do it. 6-1. This is the most dominant we've seen Frey's today.
And the Conqueror should have gotten that kill there. The initial shot was missed by Sika, but they just weren't able to make it land. Look at that. Not a single shot actually has landed from Conqueror in this one. 0 and 7. Well, they have 2 assists, but that doesn't count. That's not a kill. That doesn't feel good. Being shut down like that. And I'm feeling better by the minute of moving my bambling chips over to the side of Frey's team.
Oh my god, I'd forgotten about the bambling chips. We gotta break those out. I mean, yeah, we were all in. We were all in for Phantom Thieves, but with Sika and the rest of Frey's popping off like this, yeah, you know, I gotta get out while I can.
Saga with her knives right behind them. They don't have an idea.
No, they've got no clue. They go for a second. Gonna use the smokes, trying to spray through it, see if they can find someone. Not quite gonna be able to. They're gonna back off just a little bit. Oh my gosh, but Entranced finds 2 to even things up. The res comes in as well. Oh, but Saga finds them as they're getting brought back from the beyond. Entranced has an idea. Saga's up there. They take him out. Now we've got an opportunity for this Phoenix squad to come back, but oh, a quick flick from Quansler stops that rotation in his tracks.
2v2. The defense is spread pretty thin, so they're going to have an advantage coming towards this B side if they choose to hit it. Viper has to rotate all the way around, and that's where they're going. The Viper util is able to be activated remotely, so they don't quite know where she is. That's the only silver lining, except for Quants. They're hitting their shots. Now Viper just trying to get a plant to get a little bit of money, maybe get some more silver lining to this, but they don't have their numbers. Instead, they've been tracked down. They've been hunted. No time left on the clock to play with.
No, there isn't. They have to try and plant here, though. There's got to be a way for them. They say, and oh, that was not the place to try it. Quansler finds the kill.
I'm surprised that they brought that round back, because honestly, that was a little bit of an overheat. Saga going for that right-click knife. Perhaps they forgot that they introduced right-clicking with your knives gets rid of them. If you just kill with a normal knife, you get to keep them and keep getting frags with them. And so they didn't have to right-click. They had the lineup on the head and ended up losing that. And with the res, I was like, oh, surely this is going to spiral out of control. But they're able to pull it back. They don't have to rely on Saga, even if Saga is the one pulling them forward. Now it's an extremely mixed buy from Phantom Thieves. They're desperate to find an inch here.
They are. They're hoping that they can do something with Conquer right here, but Sika takes a shot, misses. Conquer lining up for another one. They've now got more control over these sidelines. Cinder does find Donut Keeper. That's a big kill. They're gonna push in on that. Saga, though, finds the spy carrier. Cinder swings in, though, on the Reyna. Finds the kill. That's gonna be a Viper's Pit now that they have to deal with as well. Sika looking for a head. Finds just a glimpse of it. Conquer still standing though, but that time they find it. That's gonna be a big pick, equalizing things in the kill feed. They're spraying through the smokes now, seeing if they can maybe just by chance find this Viper. They're gonna throw out the molly, seeing if they can get the spike. Defused. Young Toad with a beautiful lineup to get the pick on the Sika as well. They might just be able to hold on to this. Quants are gonna try and go for the defuse. They've got the pick. I don't think they can get over the wall. Oh, they're not gonna go for the defuse. They just can't quite get it, and that. Oh no, they do get it. Sorry, the little spike diffuser thing I think disappeared. That was weird.
No, I was gonna say once again why I do not envy the Sova left in the clutch. Great utility. It can be good, but it's not good clutch utility. Like the ultimate can only last for 3 pings. The shock darts, well, if there's anything in the way, they just can't do it. And there was a wall in the way. He couldn't break that in time. So that's another round on the board for the FFT's team, and they're looking so good. I really think that they should be able to hold on with this. They fully convinced me that they had so much more to show than they ended up doing in that first half.
Yeah, they have really fully activated at this point. They're firing on all cylinders. There's nothing that it appears
Spike down A.
that these Phantom Thieves can do. I mean, anytime anyone peeks, you've got to be worried about Sika, right? They've already minimized some of the threats here. Donut Keeper finds another as they try to get the spike down. Cinder does eventually take that threat in the sky out. That's going to give them a lot of cover as they move in. Conquer finds Donut Keeper, who is maybe just standing a little too far forward to let loose with that Aldrum. In the meantime, though, Saga has come from behind and is looking for kills. Monster does find Toad, but that's going to be it. There's ample time for the defuse.
The BM, they know that they're destroying them this round, and their confidence is definitely boosted by now. If it wasn't before, look at them not defusing it and instead letting Jet go over there and get it for themselves to get this ult online. They're having fun with it.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I am Phantom Thieves, I would tell my team, guys, we've got to stop walking into A site. How many times have they just lost the first pick just because they're just walking into A site? And they need to be exploring other parts of the map, applying pressure in other parts of the map. They haven't shown the amount of dynamic looks and intelligent aggression that has given them success in the past.
You're absolutely right, and I have to think that that's what they've got to be talking about right now during this timeout is what can we do? What can we find, right, that we used to have, that we had all the way back there in game number 1, right, or game number 2 rather, that allowed them to come back into this. So what is the magic that they need to find? Sorry, that was game number 1 they took. You know, because they've got to activate it again because they're in a worse position than they were before.
Yeah, hi guys, Coach Phantom Thieves here. I'm gonna need you guys to spread out, get an opening pick, and then play off of that. So that way you guys are in an advantage. Otherwise, well, I don't know, just run it down B or something, because that'll probably work. And I'd expect to see one of those 2 things coming out of this timeout. And if not, where are they gonna go?
Okay, whew, they're going over towards B. It looked like they were going over towards A. They're making me worried. But, I mean, look at this. You've got a full bank of ultimates right now for FFT, right?
That's disgusting.
Yeah, and literally next to nothing, even economically, for Phantom Thieves right now. You know, so I'm just not sure how they come back in this round. Gonna start pushing down B, but Viper's Pit is already up, and Sika has correctly predicted that they would be going around a different way this time. It's gonna be the Hunter's Fury now launched to see if they can find someone in the midst of things. Donut Keeper does get one. It's just down to Sage. They try to get a pick, but that is a flawless round for FFT to bring them to double digits.
Last round.
Hey coach, you told us to run it down B. What happened? Oh well, I guess Sika. They had the same idea.
Yep, Sika happened. Sika read it like a book.
They really did, and the op moved too. We've seen Sika opping A site so many times, and he just brought it with him. He said they read him like a book. The op was there, and so was the supporting Viper. So there was no concerns anywhere. And if they can't get this to a 10-2 at minimum, that's where I start to count them out. A 9-3, okay, I guess. A 10-2, possible. An 11-1, a 1-11 comeback, that's not. Donut Keeper does stuff like that.
Yeah. Saga has found a counter pick, though, so it is a 4v3. They are not out of this yet. Cinder now lurking around through mid. They do have the Empress out, so they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. They can find the picks, which they do. It's now just 2 players remaining. It's going to be the Jet and the Chamber. Chamber goes in and activates the Tour de Force. They're going to see if they can find this Reyna lurking. They take a shot, both miss. Reyna still at full health. Sika's dropped down. They find the kill onto Cinder. But in the meantime, Saga's been taking out their knives. Yield no effect. It's going to have to be Sika taking out 3 right here to make this an 11-1 half. And that's looking less and less likely by the moment they ran into a wall. There's nothing left for him to do. Time's ticking down. That will be a round for the Phantom Thieves.
So unfortunate on Sika's part. They got the shot with their ult, and the slow field that came after it caught themselves. So they just didn't have the time to get back on the site, especially because Saga wasn't able to make it connect that time. Even though they've made it connect for a lot of the, surprisingly, look at that, a 3-1 KD ratio on the scoreboard for them, and almost a 2-1 for Sika. So they've had, well, needless to say, a dominant defense. And well, I'm interested to see if their offense has quite the same caliber to bring. We've seen both of these teams be very strong offensively, but is the fact that Phantom Thieves didn't show up on offense alluding to that they don't have anything left in the tank? Or maybe they just have some good defensive strats stored in the tank for Icebox. These questions and more are going to be answered at this very second as the aggression is coming into A site.
We've got dueling sonars coming out. Cinder looks for a shot, but only finds pain as they turn that corner. Saga looking for an opportunity to dash in, dashes out instead. They're going to start pushing in pretty aggressively now, taking a lot of space, a lot of site control. Young Toad forced to back off. They can't do anything with that wall, and those shock darts coming in. Spike will be planted, and it's going to be planted in heaven as well. Already, Conquer has found a pair, though. So this isn't over yet. Donut Keeper, though, has someone in their sights. It's going to be Donut Keeper finding another. They're going for the defuse. Has to run around to the other side, but they're going to have so much to deal with. Too much, as a matter of fact. And Phantom Thieves take another round.
I want to identify that round was their same old mistakes. That was a great fast A hit, but they had 0 map control. That was their problem on the previous maps that we identified. And they didn't even know that there was someone flanking them until they were being attacked right on the, like, basically the back of site where Nest is. They're going to need at least a lurk, maybe leave an alarm bot. Hello, Chamber, please. That's what you're good for. They just need some, just a speckle of map control. Please, just do it for me.
Well, it looks like they've spread out quite a bit this time, going for more of a default push, seeing if they can push out any utility. Right now, Conquer. Oh, Saga has found Young. That is not the start that this defense was hoping for. Now he's got a wholesale push over onto A set. It's going to be Conquer once again, looking for an opportunity here. Has forced to teleport away. Tries to take another shot. Does find Quansler. It's a 4v4 right now. Conquer is still trying to get things done and is doing that. Donut Keeper is out of the equation. 3v3, though. This is still doable for this Frey squad. Even though they don't have the guns, they're still pushing B.
Yeah, they don't have the guns, and they are a bit pinned, but they have just enough space to get the spike planted. Viper's so low on HP, but that's enough to beat the spike planter.
Yep.
And Nismo gets the opening back into it.
Ooh. Wow, Zika finds one. They put the wall up to try and protect the defuse. It's going to be somebody rotating around it, but I don't think they're going to have enough time, and that'll be another round for the Phantom Thieves.
Oh, not enough time, not enough firepower, couldn't break the wall in time, but they certainly did a lot of damage taking out 3 of the members of Phantom Thieves. They're not going to have the best weaponry to convert over to this, so now that they're able to buy, this is where they could set themselves up for the sprint to the finish line. Unless it so turns out that Phantom Thieves have this ace up their sleeve on this defensive half. Both of these teams being offensive teams, I'm not gambling on it, I'm not bambling on it, but the chance is there. They've started, the win condition a lot of the times for getting a half is getting the first 2 rounds and trying to get that to spiral. They've done that. Let's see if they can push it forward.
They don't have much room for error, but that is a place they've been before, and they know they can bring it back. Cinder dropping back just a little bit, yielding a little bit of space to this team that's pushing up A, but they're very, very clustered at the moment. They're sacrificing a lot of map control for, I think, this very, very aggressive pushing power. Cinder gonna try and wallbang through just a little bit. Quansler is going to be able to plant and get away. Beautiful positioning that they're starting to take.
And I like this. They left the chamber trap way out in their spawn this time, so they know if a player's going to be flanking them.
All right, Phantom Thieves is starting to heat up once again, but Quansler strikes back. It's going to be a 3v2 now. Spike is still down. They've still got to get control over things. But look at this. They know where they are. Oh, they're trying. They've got the defuse. They got it down to half. They just need to get a couple of kills. They just need a little time. They might be able to confuse it. Oh, it's so close, but the defenders take it.
Slightly missed their timing on the lineup. Zazia almost winning that round for them alone. Instead, it is another footstep that Phantom Thieves have dug themselves coming into this half, finally forcing Frey into a save. I think the first one of this game. And it's not going to be too much of a save, though. Look at that. A Phantom and a Marshall. Okay. All right, guys. Calm down. Just a Marshall.
Right. There's nothing to be afraid of.
Oh, no. But it's Saga with the Marshall, which makes sense. They're 2-1 on the KD. Going up against the Tour de Force. We've seen the Marshall win out against the Tour de Force before. It does end up getting scanned. Can't quite get away from it.
No, they can't. Ooh, they peek pretty aggressively. They are able to find Donut Keeper, who doesn't quite get the shot in. Now, things are looking a little bit worse for Frey. Once again, it's a 5v3. No more Spike in their hands. Sika, though, able to try and bring this back. Just down by 1 at this point. But Young Toad says, no, you stay where you were. 1 player left. It's just going to be Zozea. But how much are they going to be able to do? They're running it down A. Oh, they peek very aggressively. They find a kill. That's going to be Young Toad now with the drone. Trying to push it out. Oh, and the plant is going to go down in the Viper's pit. Zozea definitely has a chance to make this work. They're going to throw a molly on the Spike. Get a little bit of timing. This is a beautiful position for a Viper to hide in right here. Spraying through the smoke. They have no idea where they are. Gonna back out of it for a moment. See if they can find somebody. Jumping back in at the last moment. Oh, look at this. Look at this.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh my gosh, Zozea! Able to bring this to 1, but Young Toad is gonna be there. They're gonna be good for it. They're able to pick up that half defuse Spike and get the round.
No way they get another round on the board. It's so close going either way for either team. And for an eco, man, that was awfully close. And look at that. Now with an op on the board for Sika and a full buy besides the light armor. If they can make an eco that close, darn it, they should be able to convert around this half.
I know, right? They're so close. This is their curse. They need to be able to close things out. They need to be able to clutch these out, right? They've got a commanding lead still. Maybe not as commanding as it once was. All 4 rounds so far going the way of Phantom Thieves this round, this half. Gonna be a little bit of info yielded. Sika finds the kill on the Conqueror as he peeks. That's going to be a pretty big opening on the B site. They've got the wall up already, or the smoke screen at least. And Trance going to be able to equalize things, though, making this a little less certain for Frey. Now trying to decide, do we keep pushing? Do we rotate? A site is completely open at this point.
They have to know how many members of the other team rotated over. And the fact that they're still going for it. Absolute crazy behavior. Hunter's Fury comes out, but Donut Keeper trades it back with the Phantom, bringing it to an advantageous situation.
Oh, and Trance trying to keep the Spike from getting planted. Young Toad does find Quansler. Here comes the Hunter's Fury, this time from the attacking squad. Seeing if they can pick anybody out, but none going to be able to be found this time. Zozea, though, coming up big. They were almost the hero last round, seeing if they can make something a little bit more come about this time. Young Toad now aware, at least from what angle Sova's looking at. And Zozea, look at how far they pushed up already.
Oh, doesn't get the information, though. Vipers right on top of each other.
Wow. Okay, this is starting to look pretty good now for Frey. Donut Keeper's going to be able to plant Young Toad now on a very long flank. Oh, that's Sonar. Yeah, this is going to be tough for him. He doesn't have a whole lot of time, and he's got a lot of people to try and take out of the equation. A lot of different angles to kill. Or to clear, rather.
Revealing area.
And try and get a little bit of information, see if there's anybody lurking behind Yellow. Rushing onto site now. Spike starting to pick up speed. Sika, though, is holding down a pretty nasty angle. Zosea's got the lineups ready to go. Young Toad, they might only be able to get kills here, but not even that's going to be the case.
Yeah, you need to deal with Viper sooner rather than later, because this is one Viper that bites. She has her lineups, and if you don't get them down before or in the process of your retake, you might not even get a chance to defuse at all. We've seen these timings not come through perfectly, but it just adds that extra pressure every single round. Not only is the clock ticking down, but you have half the time if Viper gets her mollies out.
Right. It's insane how much time she can bleed off the clock, and especially if she saved both, right, for the post-play situation, which, you know, not every time they're going to be able to do. Sonar not going to pick anything up this time. Conqueror lurking right around this corner, looks for a shot, doesn't find it, forced to TP away. Now that's going to be Saga dashing onto site, getting a lot of control, getting a lot of space maintained. Saga able to take Nismo out. Conqueror now flirting with danger, flirting with a pick. Donut Keeper does eventually find them, and now we're getting very, very close to a 12-point score line.
Just 2v5, just try and keep it from getting there. They're going to have to turn up bigger than they have before. Entranced has been a valuable asset to Phantom Thieves, but it's going to be all up to them. Unable to make it connect.
A flawless round heading into match point. That's got to make things pretty scary for Phantom Thieves here.
Once again, Saga Man's being the player making the big difference, but I want to put a quick pause on this. Take a notice what round we just finished. Round number 18. Historically, we've seen round 18 be a problem spot. That's where the big comeback happened on map number 1. So, well, if Phantom Thieves are going to make anything happen, it literally has to be here.
Poison orb emitting.
Zosea thrown out an orb, maybe making them wonder if a push through mid is coming, but instead it's just main. Zika finds Cinder right off the bat. That is crippling them at the knees. It's going to be Conquer, able to get one, but Quadsler is there. They're going to get the res as well into Donut Keeper. That is bad news bears for Phantom Thieves. The wall does come up. That means the plant is coming imminently as well. Saga very carefully clearing everything behind that Viper's wall. It's going to be Nismo now just trying to spray through, seeing if they can prevent the plant, but it's not going to happen. Fortunately for Phantom Thieves, they haven't lost anybody else yet. Briefly thinking about putting up a wall. Young Toad does get one, but Zika finds a response. The knives do come out now from Jet. They're looking to take things down right here, right now. Young Toad with the Bulldog able to get one. And the knives, they missed from Saga, but the gun doesn't. They're able to get the kills. Jet Frey coming in with the win and taking the match.
They started out a little bit slow. The first map was a little bit slippery, but they were able to come back off that. And the fact that they didn't get shut down by that first huge comeback, huge props to them. And I'm so happy to see them turn up again. That's 2 weeks in a row that they've been able to get a win, bringing them from 0-2 on like the overall scoreboard to 2-2. They've won half their matches and they've lost half of them. And I swear they have to have been this close because they looked really good against someone with such crazy stats coming into this.
They did. They looked absolutely phenomenal against them. But, you know, this is not to take anything away from them, but I have to wonder, you know, what this game would have looked like with a Yuki in the lineup for Phantom Thieves. Now,
that's true.
You know, but saying that, right? I don't know if that one player can make up for what felt like a gulf of a difference between these two teams when it was all said and done. Like, this was, I think, very, very firmly Frey's match. rather.
Yeah, and we saw Saga mains being such a big impact. Well, if Phantom, like you're saying, if Phantom Thieves were able to bring in their impact player and have the same thing, I'm sure they would have looked just as strong. So I'm praying that both of these teams are able to make it through this group stage because they're both formidable teams.
Now, Frey have found themselves in a brilliant spot after winning that, managing to secure a 2-2 scoreline, as well as bringing Phantom Thieves down to that scoreline as well. Now that we're into the 4th week, we're going to start seeing the scoreboard break up, because currently it's kind of in this weird spot where there's only 4 different slots a team could be in, and now it's been hugely diversified with so many more options, and both of these teams, I'd say, yes, we may have seen Frey walk away, but there was a big even match between these teams. I think this was a brilliant matchup between both of them, and they were both challenged by each other. Despite that last game getting to like 10-2, which was, I was like, I better get ready. I'm gonna get on. No, it was. They found room to try and climb the way back into the game, and it's like they let the scoreline get too far up, and they're like, oh, okay, guys, now let's play the game. I don't know what it is, but it seems like Phantom Thieves in the first game and in this game, and it just felt like they wait until it's too late and then they finally start playing. Is the pressure that's making them play better? Is it Frey's been thinking they have the game and they sort of just sit back? I mean, Easel, do you have a conclusive diagnosis for our patients?
You want to hear what I have to hear? They just waited till too late in the game to toggle. They should have toggled and the fact that they took until 10-2 to toggle, that's not good enough. They should have activated those a little bit earlier. But regardless, we can see a little bit about how that ended up playing out.
I saw the transition and I thought we were going to a break.
It's just fighting me out. No, we can see a little bit of these replays. Frey's team just looking so good, and you can see even in their logo, their logo says Frey's Snack, and that's what it looked like they might be to Phantom Thieves for a second, but Snack crossed out. They are a team and they work as a unit. They proved that time after time, and just finding themselves in such good places. Saga by far the MVP. You asked him if he was the MVP after map 1. I was like, yeah, probably, but we need to see if he can keep this up. They do. They're totally the MVP of this whole series.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give some big props though to Sika as well. Sika did a phenomenal job, especially on Icebox, holding down A. I mean, that really prevented so many of those early pushes. Like,